Hey, Gene and everybody here. This is Encounters. Thanks for tuning in to the #1 UFO spiritual talk show here on TikTok, on all social media, right here on Encounters Late Night with your host, CmdrAleon. Hey, everybody. I'm CmdrAleon, host of the show, host of WESU's Sunday morning show, which you might have tuned into on NPR Pacifica Radio this morning. And I'm also a person that is working with what is called the Ashtar Command. I've been working with them before there was any internet-related websites or even an internet. I'm a contactee for new people coming in from the 1960s. I've had numerous types of spaceship sightings since then, from the 1960s onward. And also I do workshops here in Connecticut where I take people on a journey off-planet to a big ship called the Golden Ship of Light. Jen, good to see you. Good evening, Johnny Miller. Last night's show is on my YouTube channel, Ashtar Command Spaceship News. On that show, if you watch the whole show, you'll see stuff latter part of the show after my interviews with people, with John Connors and myself, and what took place last night in Arizona. On his end of it, you will find pretty amazing. And also in general, what happened last night. So there's a 2-minute clip, which I've posted. I tried to send it to everybody on my friends list here. I might have missed a few people. Nordia, welcome. Miss Miller, Chesno, good to have you with us. So we're going to try to have a, whatever you call Kit Kat, a regular show, whatever that is anymore, like a regular show on Encounters. I don't think there's anything called a regular show on Encounters. Renee, good to see you. I think we have to throw the word normal, regular out the window. Hey, Stella Bella. Mario Gomez, good to see you. Super Mario. Tom, everybody coming in here. Spirit Whispers, welcome. Lovely, love is everything. And everybody come here. The funny thing is, somebody made a comment on my post of the video. She said, "Oh, I've had ET something happening with me," and she was watching the video, I guess, and so I responded to her. I said, well, duplicate the video. Duplicate every aspect of what happened in that video. So she says, her grandmother has a radio too. It's a big deal. So I said, duplicate everything and, go on a radio station and duplicate everything that was done, including the sound. So after I had 2 or 3 comments to her, she basically had it. It was really kind of funny. All I was saying, hey, you say you can do the same thing, duplicate it. Hey, Susan, good to have you with us. Duplicate it. And if anyone tries to duplicate this, you better be really smart and have a really good creative mind to try to do it, because you won't be able to. Hey, Bob Thomas, welcome to the show. Hey, Courtney. Everybody, MC Michelle, good to have you with us, MC. So we're going to have a good show tonight. We're going to try to interview a few people. And I've got my app here with a big crystal on it. I am going to pick up this week an AM radio, digital AM radio, and put it here and hook it up and see if Godico will use my radio, AM radio, when I hook it up to, I'm going to get one with an antenna to point the antenna. I like the idea of the antenna, so I can direct the antenna into space in different directions. And we'll do that. You have one too, Susan, good. So evidently, Godico wants me to get an AM radio. So I'm going to get an AM radio. Janet, welcome to the show. Now, I'm still blown away from last night. We had a big solar storm, a big solar hit. And we saw I downloaded the space weather application, and evidently, I don't have it in front of me to look at, but I was looking at it earlier. Different parts of the planet got hit with a big solar hit. Not an FM. He wants me to do, he wants me to do an AM radio. He wants me to get an AM radio, so I'm going to get one with an antenna. I think they make them with an antenna. They're not expensive AM radios, so I get one that is relatively good. But we'll see what happens. I don't, I'd be very surprised if he decided to come through here directly on TikTok without any radios. But you know what? I don't put anything out of the realm of possibility anymore after all this. I have, Walmart has them cheap. I might have to go there and check them out. You know, I might even go into like one of those places, not an antique flea market, but one of those places, something like that. Hey, Teresa. So we're here tonight. It's been a really crazy weekend in a good way. Friday night was contact night. Saturday night we had not planned to do anything, and we had some amazing stuff with Godico when he came through the radio. And not only that, you'll see it on the whole show if you watch it, and watch the whole show on YouTube channel, Ask Trucker Man Spaceship News. John, they were using Morse code through his digital receivers that were on the camera. And after that, Godico spoke, and he repeated something like 3 times, and it's on something else, and he came back after that, and it was pretty amazing. Yeah, he was doing like Morse code. And then the power went out in Arizona, in this specific part of Arizona last night. I messaged John. I said, how you doing? This is like after my show today. And I think he's doing okay. But they're getting, our friends from the spaceship are getting stronger and stronger in communications. They're getting much stronger. I think there was an attempt by our HARP system to try to block communications last night. I don't know how HARP works. I know they have frequency operations in Alaska, maybe some other places. I'm not sure how that works. But obviously, our government, not say the surface government, but some level of the cosmic top secret government, I think is trying to use frequency distortion to block communications. It's pretty funny to think that our own government projects like HARP and whatever else they got out there that we don't know about are trying very desperately to block anybody from communicating with star people, right? It seems kind of funny. Because do they really think that their HARPs of the world are going to stop communications? How many weeks have we been in contact with Godico and the people on the ship on this show? How long? Over at least a month. That's right, Teresa. It's too late. And I'm pretty sure, that there are government agents that have TikTok that are knowing what we're doing here. They're aware of what we're doing. They're aware of the contact that we have. I'm absolutely certain I don't even care. That's the good thing about me. I just don't care. Hey, friends with fairies, you have to have confidence. You have to have spiritual cosmic strength. If you are weak in your cosmic strength, hey, you got to do something about it. Me, like I said, no one can tell me what I do or how I do it or how it's going to be done. I'm not in the matrix. I don't work in that matrix. I don't care about that matrix. I've busted it for me, and I encourage people to bust it for themselves. It's funny, this woman that was trying to say she can duplicate, watching the video I posted, that she can duplicate it. So I challenged her. I said, go ahead. She responded, and she didn't say anything about how she would duplicate it. She just called me a liar. And I was laughing reading the comments, and I said, all right, now I'm going to block her, which I did. She had the chance to learn a few things, but she didn't respond and say, I'm going to duplicate it. So I said, she didn't answer my question. Why is that? Because she couldn't duplicate it. That's why she didn't answer my question. If you're going to be saying, oh, you can do this, then do it. Duplicate it. No one's going to duplicate it. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how brilliant you are, what college you went to or university. You will not duplicate this. No way. You know why you won't? Because it was real. You can't duplicate real. So welcome here. As things happen and get stronger and our contacts get stronger, I suspect there'll be those coming on TikTok. They're going to try to make things look different than they are. And, we'll have the old block button. We have our moderators. We'll deal with them. No problem. No big deal. We're telling the truth as more people try to discredit the information, right? That's what they do. Probably government agents or people that are brainwashed or whatever to believe in the 3D matrix. That's what they do. Thank you, Teresa. And I always say, if I don't know something, I will not answer the question. And that's a good person who's honest. And that goes should be for everybody. If you and your cosmic wisdom do not know the answer, say, oh, I just don't know it. Maybe somebody else does. I do it all the time. The things I do know is contact's going to be happening soon. I was just at a friend's shop today down in Milford, Connecticut called Scorp Zone. And we're talking about contact. It's a crystal shop. They sell, crystals and stuff for helping people that way. And everyone's feeling it, Everyone's feeling it. Now, the ones that are the billions of people on Earth that are basically not aware of it, their energies are going to be whacked out. People that are still asleep are going to be whacked out. And it's okay. They're going to be whacked out. The year 2024, what's that going to be like? It's going to be exciting. The timeline has changed. Now, we're still getting the people I trust off of TikTok that I know very well, including one of my psychic friends. Very clearly, 2027 definitely will be a contact year, without any doubt. But will there be more contact or any contact happening between now and 2027? My answer would be yes. There's certain people I know in my circle that I trust. So when I talk to them and I get confirmation from them, it confirms everything I knew last year, leading up into this year. So people have to trust their own consciousness. Some people don't. It's funny that some people, now you're going to find people that are interested in the subject of what we call UFOs, right? There's millions of them interested in the subject. But then when you tap into their consciousness, you find out where they stand. Not everybody who's interested in UFOs, when they see the 2-minute video that I posted, are going to understand that it's real. Just because you're interested in something doesn't mean you agree with it or understand it. I can be interested in weather, right? I can be interested in watching weather on TV. But it doesn't mean I understand it, how the mechanism works or how weather works. I'm interested in it, right? Anyone can be interested in anything, right? But unless you understand how it works, it means nothing. Unless you're willing to learn, it means nothing. If you are interested in something, really interested in making contact with our star family, if you're really interested in meditating and connecting with that level of light, if you're really interested in finding out who you are besides having a mother and father that you were born with, maybe a sister or brother biologically on Earth, if you're really interested, you need to step out of the zone. You need to step out of what's comfortable. You need to step out of the things that have been taught to you. Because if you don't, you're never going to be able to open that door. You're not going to see what's behind that door. You have 3 doors to choose from, right? First door could be a door still in the 3D world, taken to the same old, same old. Door 2 is a door that opens up and you see something just a little bit different than it was before. And door 3, a really mysterious door. You open that door up and you see space. And you say, wait a minute. And you see space. You say, I never knew this space existed. You see space. And you say, thank you, Susan. You see space. So you say, should I go out there? Should I jump through that door? Should I get in there and explore it? Or are you going to be afraid and stick to the things you know? A lot of people, and there's nothing wrong when we love everybody, they stick with what they know because that's all they know. They stick with what's easy, what's simple. It's better to follow the other people than to break out of the mode. You can walk down the streets of a city and you can either be walking with millions of other people the same way or take another street. You can go down the same main street with millions of other people walking back and forth, not even seeing each other, and you say, wait a minute, what's that street? That looks different. That street's different. Now, how come no one's going down that street? Then you say, I'm going to stop. I'm going to check that street out. I'm going to see what's in that street. And then you find different people that are actually talking to each other, looking at each other, happy people. And you say, oh, I like this street. These people are happy people. These people are not afraid of anything. These people are communicating with each other, having real, beautiful conversations. But that other street, they're just walking like zombies back and forth, just to keep walking. No talking with each other. No one's looking at each other. What I'm saying is we're living in a time where there are going to be two different things happening, or more than two different things happening. We live on a planetary system that's going to split. And I don't mean split physically, split spiritually. Meaning there's going to be those that will be on another earth that are going to be working out their karma. There's another group that's going to be on another earth that's going to be accelerating into the highest levels of light. Now, what's the other earth? It's this earth. It's not a different earth, it's this earth. This earth is going to accelerate. It's accelerating now. I want to say this. The sun in our system, our sun, will play and is playing a major part in the acceleration of consciousness. It's actually going to play a major part in the acceleration of awakening people. P. Bud says, I keep hearing about the government trying to prepare us for something in 2027. So very good, P. Bud. I'm gonna go on that flow of thought for a moment. So we have a contact in the DOD. She hasn't been on for a while, but I'm in touch with her. In 2027, and I said it last year, there's 3 or 4 people in this realm on social media and off media that I've talked to, that it is going to be a year when our space brothers, the star people, are coming back to Earth. They never really left, but the official contact is 2027. But I'm going to preface that statement and state that people need to get ready for contact starting earlier than that. The timeline's changed. The timeline's completely changed since last year. Okay. I've already made contact with some before 2027. Ashley, we're going to have you on. You have 677 followers. We're going to have you on in a minute, Ashley. We'd love you to come on here and share your story. And Emma888, Taylor's version, says it's actually 2026. Yeah, the timeline has totally changed. It was 2027, but the timeline has changed. And you know what? The timeline is going to continually change and get quicker and quicker. The most beautiful thing is it is changing. The space people, the star people, are excited and they're also tired of waiting. 70 years of waiting for official contact with the people of this planet. 70 years. Can you believe it? 70 years. Many of you who were born in the 50s or 60s and who awoken through those decades to who you are, and those that have been born in the 90s, 80s, whatever, you're here. Doesn't matter what decade you were born in. You all know together, regardless of your age, that we're in for something beautiful, right? We're in for something extraordinary. And one of the things that I keep getting very closely that's important now, for all the awakened people here on Encounters and those that are the waves of awakening souls, right? Awakening souls. Melinda, thank you. It's time for everyone to really, really focus, okay, on meditation. However you do it, whether you meditate in the shower. I love meditating when I'm taking a shower. I say you om or you. When I have water and I'm taking a shower, I meditate in my shower. I love it. Maybe you meditate differently or something, but I love it that way. Whether you meditate near a stream, an ocean, on a beach, doesn't matter where you meditate. Find that special spot to commune with our star people, your star family. I was born in the 50s. Hey, Sludgy, good to see you, mermaid. I meditate riding my motorcycle, of course. That's great meditation. Well, yeah, you got to keep your eyes open on the motorcycle. Absolutely. But that's a beautiful way to meditate. You're free. You're going on the road. You're just traveling in that motorcycle. It's the same beautiful experience as somebody, meditating in the shower. Hey, Rosa. So I love the different ways people meditate. No one has to do it the same way. Whatever you feel comfortable in your zone, you do it your way. Hey, Pete Starr in Ireland. How you doing, brother? Julie, good to see you. So let me see here. We're going to see who's going to come up. Ashley. We're going to bring Ashley on right now. And we're going to say hello to Ashley on Encounters. Hello to Ashley on Encounters. Welcome to the show.
How are you doing?
Welcome to the show. We're doing excellent. We're very amped up.
Can you hear me very well? My husband's driving my car.
Oh, I kind of figured that. We can hear you pretty good. But there's feedback.
Yeah, you might not be able to see me because it's dark.
That's okay, but there's feedback coming on the thing here. Can you hear me?
Let me turn off the Bluetooth. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, turn off the Bluetooth. That's what it is. Okay, now let me see. Okay, now you're good.
Yeah, I had to disconnect my Bluetooth. So
now you're doing good. Now, where on the planet are you right now traveling?
I'm in Oregon, where there's always clouds. So it's really it's not the easiest place to see any type of anything. 90% of the time, there's always clouds. So my husband and I just drove back from Cottage Grove, which is out towards California from where we are. And I posted a couple videos. My friend has cameras on her house because every time we go over there, we always see weird stuff, like looking out at the stars. And she caught a really weird blue orb that was like floating, moving around, and then it manifested into an actual blue being that was like see-through.
Really?
Yeah, and she's got like security cameras on her house. So it's like she screenshotted it and sent it to me, and I was like, I don't know what that is. Like, I've tried researching it. I've talked to a couple people because I don't know if you know who Clyde Lewis is, but he does a TV show called Ground Zero, and he talks about UFOs and stuff like that. Yeah, so I got a couple friends, and some people have told me that it could have been a Foo Fighter, and I was like, I don't think it was a Foo Fighter. I don't know what it was. I don't think so either. But I was like, I'm pretty sure that it's some type of energy that's trying to make its presence known so that when it comes time to get together with my best friend on the full moon, that it's going to make actual contact. Because this was just like kind of like a test, because it, like, whatever it was has the intelligence to understand. If I was to see something like that in real life, like not just on a camera, but like in real life, I've already had experiences. I tend to freak out and think, okay, this isn't really happening. Is that real? Right. And then my brain just plays tricks on me. So one thing that I think I've talked to you about in the past is like meditating is the best way to connect with any type of energy. And I've connected with Pleiadian energy on more than one occasion, where I went through this healing. I can't even explain it other than I was in this meditation and all of a sudden was inside this, like, it felt like it was a dream, but I was aware of what was going on. And I had DNA getting upgraded. Like, if you've ever seen fiber optic lights that haven't been turned on, and it was like they were helping me with healing my body and told me I had to heal my body with my hands, with my eyes closed, and see what was going on. And I was like, this is weird, because I was doing a meditation, and I also had like a YouTube video, somebody who heals like with Pleiadian energy, and this woman was telling me, like, she'd be like, I'm gonna go down to your sacral chakra right before she said that out loud, like
Mm-hmm.
these beings that I was communicating with telepathically were like, we're healing this area. And I just remember it, even though it was a meditation and I was listening to audio through YouTube, it was a very
Yeah.
surreal thing to have it confirmed by somebody that was doing healing.
Yeah.
And you just got to be open to communicating with that kind of energy, because it's never been bad. And I can honestly say I've been having health issues, and after that meditation
Mm.
I haven't had any issues with my back, and I've had a lot of weird experiences, like stuff that I can't
Mm.
explain, that
No,
energy just is going to
it's
be
just
shifting pretty soon.
no. It's going to. Let's just do this here. Just adjusting some lighting here, but yeah, no, it's definitely going to change. If you can get your friend, if she videotaped that thing that she sent to you, can you have her send me a copy of the video? I can take a look at it and post it.
Yes, I will talk to her about it, and I've also tagged you a couple I think I've tagged you a couple times in the TikTok
Hmm.
post, because it
Oh,
is, I'm
good.
telling you, like, I'm very intuitive, and I was born in the 80s, and the more I start getting into spiritual stuff, the more
Hmm.
awakened and like clairvoyant I become, as long as I take the time to meditate. But
Yeah.
what's even stranger about it is it, like, she always happens to catch stuff on the full moons. It's not just like, when everything's dark and there's not a full moon out.
Right.
It's every full moon that she tends to catch this stuff, that
Mm.
it's kind of bizarre. I don't even know if I can show you camera at all. Hold on. It might not let.
Okay.
No, it's not letting me do it quite yet. But
Okay. When you
it's
can,
because I have
you're
to
always
get a
welcome to
certain
show
amount
it.
of followers before I can, and I just
Oh,
applied to be.
okay. Oh, that's right. You can't. You have to get. Well, you're. Let me see where you are right now. Hold on a
I'm
minute.
almost there. Like, I just applied. I had to give ID and
Oh yeah, you're at
everything
681
for
followers. She
verification
needs
before I can do it. So.
another. She needs to get to 1,000. She's at 681. If we get her to 999 or 1,000, I think she'll be all right. So yeah,
Yeah,
let's
but I mean,
everybody follow her.
I'm so glad that I got to let you know about that, because I've seen, like, you have no idea. Like, I'm so glad that you made this group, because I've been getting in contact with something that like, for a while I had to process it to figure out what was going on, because I know when you
Hmm.
were talking on one of your lives how you had, I can't remember what the being's name is that you communicate with,
Oh, the
communicating through.
Kadarmanka.
Yeah,
Kadarmanka.
like, there's been an energy that's been trying to contact me, and there's something to do with Trinity, which is a really sacred, it's a sacred thing all throughout the world. Like, even in ancient history, like the Trinity number, like 369, like it's a
Hmm.
real thing. And like the pyramids.
Hmm.
And I went out, and there's something to do with the solstice and the full moon that's like really sacred to, like, energy that is higher consciousness than humanity at this point. And I went outside on one of these days, and I've experienced some weird stuff, like looking at
Hmm.
the stars. And I had this portal open. My son went inside the house, and I turned around and saw this yellow giant orb looking thing.
Hmm.
And the only way to explain it to you is it looked as big as like a car. Like, it was huge,
Hmm.
and it was floating above a tree. And I completely froze because I couldn't believe what I was
Wow.
seeing. And my son
Wow.
at the time, he was only 9. He's now 17. And
Wow. That's a long time ago.
it
Yeah.
was a
Go
long
ahead.
time ago, but I remember it well enough to know what happened was real, because I had my son draw what he saw, because I didn't want to like put ideas in his head. I wanted to make sure what happened wasn't just
Right.
me being crazy. And he, first of all, when I turned around and I froze, he said it's a starship and started running towards it. Like,
Really?
yeah, this literally happened. I even had a conversation with Clyde Lewis about it from Ground Zero, which is based in Portland. And
Yeah.
him, and there's two people that are on Gaia, Corey Goodwin and something else. I even talked to them about it, and they said it was a portal.
Hmm.
He's like, my son started running towards it, and as I turned around, like, my intuition was like, I don't know what that is. I don't understand what
Hmm.
that is. So it disappeared. And I think whatever energy was trying to connect with me was like, you're not ready for this because you're too scared, and your son's clearly ready for it, but you're not. And
Right.
I had my son draw a picture of it, and
Yeah.
he drew a picture of somebody standing with him.
What did the person look like that was standing with you? Can you describe the
Very
person?
tall and white hair. Like, I think that he might have had either a tall white standing next to him or a Pleiadian. I don't know. I can't tell the
Yeah.
difference. Like, I just know
Yeah.
that.
No, I got you. Yeah.
But
So
yeah.
what happens is, Ashley, is if one person next to you is nervous and something is going to happen, that's good. Because that person's a little bit scared, and let's say in your case your son wasn't, if you were in the same frequency as he was of being like not scared,
Hmm.
you would have actually gone through an experience that at that moment.
Yeah, I just think it was interesting because my son, Gabriel, me, and basically both of my sons and me were technically what's considered a trinity because we were outside looking at the stars in
Yeah, yeah.
three. And then we also had our dog out with us at the same time. And it was just getting
Hmm.
too cold. And it was also around this time of year. It was in December. I don't know
Yeah.
why December seems to be like such a spiritually awakening time, but it really is. And that was just one experience. I have a lot more than just that, but that.
You know why December is that way? This is really interesting. People should take notes.
Mm-hmm.
December, well, we're in a period of all this, like with Christmas and everything, which is an earth-based thing. But that beyond the earth-based thing called Christmas, it is the month of a awakening of Christ consciousness.
Yep.
So every December, there's a doorway that opens that people might not realize. When we go from Halloween into Christmas season, the frequency switches. Well, right now, the frequency has switched so high right now that Christ consciousness is very, very strong right now. And it doesn't mean that it's only strong in December of this year. That consciousness will increase into 2024. So when we speak about cosmic Christ consciousness, that consciousness, Ashley, for you, is probably accelerating in your own life. You've got some probably very beautiful stories to share. And your son, I can only imagine at his age now, where his consciousness is at since he was a kid. It's
Well,
got to
it's
be pretty
changed a lot.
amazing. Yeah.
It's sad because if anybody else doesn't believe in this stuff and they say, "Oh, well, that's not real," or "That's just your mom being crazy," it's like, dude, that's your old way of thinking. That's kind of making it so that his gifts that he's been born with are kind of going to be washed away. Because I've had to work really hard to just get my gifts back from being told
Hmm.
a lot of crappy things. Hi, Gabriel. Like,
Ah,
oh, you're
thank you,
like,
Utopia.
like, I don't want to bring up anything that's going to make everybody start
No,
talking about anything in
no,
there.
no.
But but you
Just
know what
keep the
I mean?
focus.
Like
But
stuff that I was
yeah,
taught when I was growing
yeah,
up,
we
that
know.
that's evil, and I was just like, no, this is something that you just don't understand, and I don't know how to
We've all
explain
had
it.
it.
But
We've all had it. Believe me. I
yeah,
think a lot of people here have gone through that. But the real focus is whatever happened in the past is the past. What's going on now is more important. What you're remembering now, what you're doing now in your light, in your awakening process of remembering. As once you start accelerating back into that memory, you can't be stopped. You're going to keep accelerating, right? I'm sure you're doing
yeah.
it right now.
And I've had some really interesting dreams on the astral plane too, because once you get to a consciousness where you meditate, you start connecting with something else that is just beyond even being alive on this planet, because your consciousness
Yeah.
can extend past this planet. Like, your soul is like limitless. And I've
Hmm.
connected with beings on other planets, and I've had dreams. Like, I'm pretty sure I had a dream of a being that came to this planet trying to warn humanity about another type of being that was coming to this planet that's kind of like the destroyer, that doesn't like.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And all I can tell you is that I was on a ship, and they were kind of reminding me of what happened to them, that they came here to warn humanity about something,
Hmm.
that something happened to their ship, and they were going underwater trying to find a part that fell off their ship, which wasn't
Hmm.
normal. Like, this part just fell off the ship, and he had the technology to go underwater and find it, but he had to have this
Hmm.
mask on his face to be able to breathe, because he couldn't
Really
breathe under our
interesting.
water because of the salt water.
Yeah.
And then he
Yeah.
came up through this portal thing that was on the ship that was able to keep the water from getting in the dome or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And something happened to where the ship ended up trying to push out water because somehow it ended up getting hit. Like there was something that happened. And
Yeah.
the technology on the ship is not anything that even exists yet in this reality that
Yeah.
we're in
No.
right now.
On our reality. Yeah.
And it
Absolutely.
was just bizarre because I remember looking around and whoever's memory that they were trying to show me was like walking through this ship with like these bodies that had obviously drowned, and he was like,
Hmm.
it wasn't that he was like nasty or anything, it was that he was very calm and like, okay, people are dead, I need to go find who's alive, I need to figure out what's going on. But it was weird because it was like he was showing me this memory, and I was like,
Hmm.
I don't understand what this means. And I think he might have been
Mm.
referencing whatever happened to something that happened on this planet before the flood is the only vibe that
Okay.
I've gotten from it. Because
Yeah.
the flood has been a big thing in a lot of cultures all over the world, and I don't know
Oh
how else
yeah.
to explain it. But I've been reflecting on that for a while, and it seems like every
Thank you,
single time I
Jackie.
take the time and meditate, I have
Hmm.
even weirder dreams. And solstices and equinoxes are the biggest days to meditate and connect with.
Mm. Most definitely.
I don't
That's
know how
true.
else to explain it, but that's just in my experience. Those are the days that
Hmm.
I tend to have the most weird, kind of amazing experiences on the dream world, but like
Hmm.
on a whole nother level that it's
Well,
kind of hard to explain.
but you know what? You're explaining it. It's not so hard. You're
Hmm.
explaining it, and people who are watching it, you're explaining it absolutely fine. I understand. I think everybody understands everything you're saying. It's not hard to do it at all. Your mind's saying it's hard to explain, but you're explaining it at the same time you're saying it's hard. I think everybody's understanding that what you're doing is beautiful.
I've been taking classes, and I've also taught classes at events that I worked at. I just don't want to
Hmm.
say the wrong thing to get somebody to get confused. So I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
I'm saying this perfectly because I
Hmm.
don't know how I'm able to do this, but sometimes I wonder
Hmm.
if like I did something. I believe in reincarnation, and I don't understand how
Hmm.
I remember so much stuff that most people have to work really hard to learn. Like there's
Hmm.
just certain things that
You
I
want me
know how.
to answer the question as to why you remember so many things that you don't understand? Are you ready for the answer?
Yes.
Okay. The reason why you remember so many things that you don't understand is because you do understand so many things that you don't remember. So now I'm going to repeat this. The reason
Okay.
why you remember so many things you don't understand is because you understand all those things that you say you don't remember. So what I'm saying is your memory, your galactic memory, your conscious memory, beyond this planet, beyond this physical body, beyond this physical brain you have, remembers everything. Your physical being, when you came into the physical form as the woman you are, as the human being you are, came with the knowledge that you came with from off planet. So this is not your first trip. So when I say that, we all are born with a family, a mother and a father. You came from
Hmm.
another star system. You forgot probably many things that you thought you forgot, but now as you're speaking, you're remembering things. Now your mind is going to play tricks. This goes for everybody out there. I think we all can relate to this. The
Hmm.
mind's going to say, wait a minute, you didn't do that. You can't remember that. You can't do this. You can't do that. The mind's going to always question everything. That's the human mind does. But the true you, Ashley, which is you, remembers all these things. And there's no imperfect way of saying anything because everything you say is perfect. There's no imperfection in your words. Each of the
Thank
things you
you.
say are not imperfect, they are perfectly stated. They're beautifully stated. So your mind's saying, well, I don't know, and I don't want to say anything wrong. That the mind is saying that. But
Well,
you,
I
the true
appreciate
you,
it.
the cosmic you are perfect in every single way. And if anyone ever says you're not perfect in what you're stating, they're the ones who have the imperfection of not understanding what you're saying. You, everything you say is perfectly understood.
I
Everything.
have something because what you're saying actually makes a lot of sense because I had another really intense, like people call it people call it a lot of things when you are able to dream like you're living like how I'm
Hmm.
talking to you, but you're able to physically move and stuff like that in the dream and control your body. I was on this planet that was very similar to Earth, but the only way to explain it is there was a lot of nature around. There wasn't like a lot of technology or buildings like how we live on this planet. It was more like living with nature and just living with animals and stuff like that. But the thing about this planet that I was on was there wasn't any fear on this planet, and it was a very peaceful, loving kind of like heavenly planet. But this that like the interesting thing about it is, you know how all over Earth there's like these ancient structures and a lot of people don't understand how they were built.
Yes.
So
Yes.
on this planet there was a structure that was very similar like that, but it was covered in like trees and branches and just like completely taken over by nature. And I was in this being's body, and it kind of reminded me, like every time I see the movie Avatar, it kind of reminds me of Avatar a little bit. But I was in this being's body, and it was a male figure, and I just remember I had this intuition trying to get these people off of this planet. Like they were very humanoid looking, but they were not humans. And this being was like, get out of my body. And I was like, I don't know how I'm in your body. I want to leave too. I don't know why I'm here.
I want to get out of your body. I don't know why I'm here.
Yeah. So I go and like, I'm being guided that I need to get them off this planet because there's like this enemy ship that's going to come and they're trying to destroy this planet. But what's crazy is this ship is like massive, like Battlestar Galactica massive, and has this weapon that's able to drop this like plasma like substance that just completely obliterates anything that's alive, that turns it basically into space.
Right.
And I was able to go up to this facility that I don't know how none of these beings knew what it was, and put my hand up, and my handprint turned blue and was able to open this door like automatically, like my human DNA opened this door, and these beings just looked at me, and all of a sudden like there's these ships that they were able to get on that was going to take these beings to another planet that was safe because the enemy ship had come
another
in.
planetary system.
It sounds like something that's made up, but like this was really happening in my dream to the point where I just wanted to wake up until I realized it wasn't. It gets weirder. I'm not making this up. Okay.
Well, let me explain something to you before you go on, because I want to, because the dream state, I call that a cosmic dream. There's a regular dream for people that are learning stuff here on the show on Encounters. I'm CmdrAleon, your host, with Ashley here as my guest. It's a cosmic dream, and what the dream is, well, I've said it before many times this year when I hear stories like this, your dream is really the reality, and this is the dream, that's the reality. In this case, we're switching, right? So we're switching from what you think is the reality here on Earth to what is actually a dream. And when you go to that dream that you're explaining the ships and the beings, that actually was you in another reality that was real.
You're right, Commander.
That actually did
I will
happen.
tell you that because before I even finished telling you the whole entire thing what happened.
Continue. Yeah.
After the dream, I'll lead up and tell you what happened in the dream, but I want to tell you, after I woke up from the dream, I was so freaked out by it because I woke up sweating. I went to a spiritual store that had crystals and like all that healing stuff that you need for awareness and like, just to help with healing, right? And this woman I've never met in my life comes up to me and she says, "What did you do on the astral plane? You changed Earth. You changed the history of Earth." I swear on my family and my kids, I'm not making that up. You like, for me to be a very spiritual person, to have that happen, I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone because I was like, okay, so this is stuff that's really happening. Like that dream wasn't a dream at this point, and now somebody's coming up and they called themselves my Ascended Master Galactic something. Like I can't remember what the exact word was because it was such a long time ago. This was before my ex died.
Wow. Yeah.
But long story short, to get back to what happened is these beings are all getting on these like pod. They're like egg like like that's the only way to explain what they look like.
They do exist. You're correct in what you were saying about the egg ships. Go ahead.
And they're like see-through. Like they have the technology where you can actually see through the floor when you get on them, and they can go really fast. They can fit up to 4 to 5 people on them. And
Yes.
I will never forget. We're leaving, and I had my hand put up, and I was absorbing whatever it was that this enemy ship was trying to destroy the planet was, and they were just looking at me like, "How
Mm-hmm.
are you doing that?" And I was like, "I don't know, I don't know." It was started to scare me a little bit because I still had my
Yeah.
humanity, and these beings didn't know
Yeah.
what fear was, and I felt
They
like
didn't
fear was
know. Yeah.
contagious. Like I
Yeah.
feel like I brought fear to them
Wow.
because they didn't even know what
Yeah.
it was. And
Oh, okay.
um then they looked at me, and I'm in this person's body, and it's like his wife and his kids were sitting there looking at me. She's like, "What are you?" And I told her, "I'm human." And she just looked at me like something in her eyes kind of flashed, like I like something they didn't know, they didn't remember what humans were, and all of a sudden they were like, "Human, what is human?" And then I woke up and I was like, "I don't know what this means." Like I was sweating so bad when I woke up because I thought I was
Wow.
gonna die. Like this
Wow.
ship
You
was
really.
leaving.
Yeah. You were. I mean, as I'm listening to the story, absolutely like. When I get feel like the chills of the story. Your story is so real,
Yeah.
so real. I mean, you really were there. I mean, I know people in here are watching this, and they're feeling the same thing I'm feeling. You keep going. I mean, your story is amazing,
Yeah, and especially
amazing.
because I went to a spiritual store and someone came up to me saying that they were an ascended master from the galactic something, and I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of in denial for a little bit because I was like, this isn't
Mm-hmm.
real life. I'm going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, I am not going crazy. Like, this really
Mm-hmm.
happened. It took me
Mm-hmm.
like 2 years of trying to talk to people who are specialists that are talking about stuff like this constantly now for me to be
Mm-hmm.
comfortable to actually talk about it publicly because it's kind of my job. It's like one of the reasons why I've been born, and it's not just me sitting here saying it. Like I'm a really creative person, and I'm an
Mm-hmm.
artist, and there's a reason why I'm creative and why I'm so talented is because I'm
Mm.
able to connect with energy that most people kind of ignore. Like not necessarily ignore in a bad way, but they just think it's just their imagination. But to have
Yeah.
that kind of a dream and then be have it confirmed by somebody who I've never met, like it was really bizarre. It
Yeah.
took me a while to process it.
Someone was saying here, Julie, friend of ours on our show, I would think she was delivered safely home. So essentially, when you came back into your human body, she's correct. You were transported safely back into your body
Yeah,
from
and
your
I can tell you
experience.
that the energy that was communicating with me to save these beings was something that I don't know how to explain. I can just tell that
Mm-hmm.
I was being guided to go help these beings and that
Mm-hmm.
I had to do it, and it took me a very long time to understand. And I also have a tattoo on my hand on
Mm-hmm.
the same hand that I used in the dream that for
Hmm.
some reason it's like it has something to do with who I am. And it just gets interesting. Like the more and more spiritual people that I meet, the more and more they're like, "Who are you?" And I'm just like, I'm still trying to figure
Mm-hmm.
that out. Like,
Well, that tattoo. What does the tattoo look like? Can you describe it? Because I'm getting an answer regarding your tattoo. I'll tell you
so
something in a minute.
so it's what a lot of people refer to as like the Illuminati triangle in the eye. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's more like the all-seeing eye of like what people would consider like the all connected to
Like the all seeing eye
Christ
of
consciousness, or like,
like you're seeing the cosmic opening, your eye, the cosmic eye. You see the picture that
yeah,
NASA took of the eye in the universe, the
yep,
cosmic eye that looks like an eye. It's the
mm-hmm,
all-seeing cosmic eye. It's the opening to the very galactic truth of everything. So that little symbol that you have, that tattoo, represents to remember that you can see everything through the eye of the cosmic. You can see the
mm-hmm,
whole multiverse. So you've been there. You've been going there through either whether you're sleeping, they take you on the ship. You're constantly going, whether you remember it all, you will continually have more. Now, you think you're having experiences now, just wait until 2024. You're going to be so amped up that your experiences are going to be more vivid. Just think of all the stories you just told now that are true. How
yep.
many other things are going to happen in your life in the coming year?
I
You have a
wouldn't be
lot of things
surprised
that
if
are going
I
to
have an
happen.
interesting dream tonight because I'm actually talking about it, because not talking about it publicly is
Hmm.
something that they've kind of been getting a little irritated at me about. And I'm like, I don't know how you expect me to do this. It's not like it's not like an easy thing for me to just start talking about it because I've made videos and stuff, but it's kind of hard
Mm-hmm.
when it's not like a group like what you've created where it's actually people are watching and they want to listen and they actually believe in it, whereas some people that like say family or people that are going to label me see it that know me, they're like, oh, she's crazy. It's like, dude, you do not know the half of the stuff that I've had to go through just to be able to attain the
Mm-hmm.
gifts that I have, to be able to trust my gifts and know like
Mm-hmm.
what's going on is really happening, especially when we have like that those pictures that my friend caught on her property are it like
I can't
I'll
wait to
never
see
forget.
those.
Yeah, I'll never forget. She sent me the photos and she was like, "Dude, because we're always outside and I'm not making this up. We go out and I was just joking around. I'm like, I command to see a shooting star and then all of a sudden there's a shooting star." She's like, "Did you just do that?" And I'm like, "I think it was just a coincidence." And she's like, "No way." And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
um, "It was just a
Somebody's
coincidence."
asking you, Ashley. Do you remember getting the tattoo?
Yeah. Well, I
You
had a
do.
dream about it. So you're talking about Christ consciousness, right?
Yes,
So
all the time.
Christ consciousness is the big deal because so I've connected with Christ consciousness in a way that I can't really explain other than I was
Mm-hmm.
going through a transition of having to forgive somebody for doing something really horrible to me as a kid. And I
Mm-hmm.
sat down and I took the time to forgive him because he's in jail for doing something to his own child. And
Mm-hmm.
like, think what happened to Oprah Winfrey pretty much happened to me. And I was sitting and
Mm-hmm.
I was meditating about it. And I was like, I'm just going to forgive him because it's just going to end up making me sick if I don't. And then all of a sudden, it's not windy. And I hear wind chimes. And I'm like, why is there wind chimes going off? This is not a windy night. This is a nice summer day and it's not windy.
Yeah.
And I go out on my back patio and I'm just out there like, what is going on? And all of a sudden this bright light turns into what people would consider Christ consciousness or Christ. And
Mm-hmm.
everyone I've
Christ.
told this, they're like, you're nuts. And I'm like, okay, well, you can call me whatever you want, but I'm also an artist, and look up any other really well-known artist that wasn't labeled as something and now their artwork's worth a lot, or they're made
Right.
of something. So basically I was told I had to paint this eye and this triangle that's on my hand now, painted it,
Mm-hmm.
put it on a canvas. And long story short, like, my family raised me to be Christian and Catholic, and I know that your
Mm-hmm.
background was Jewish, so to be
Yeah.
to be raised two different religions that seem similar, that I can't even tell you how hard that was, because I was born with all these gifts and then like was constantly told I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that based on each religion, and I was like, which
Mm-hmm.
one am I supposed to pick? But
Right.
the point I was trying to make is, like, I was guided to paint this symbol and then I got it tattooed on my hand because when I met my tattoo guy, he already had it on a piece of paper before I even met him.
Really, that's interesting
Yeah,
too.
and it,
You had it
it
on a piece
gets
of paper.
weirder. It gets even
Mm-hmm.
weirder. My when my grandpa died, we got a family heirloom Bible, and when I opened to the first page, the symbol's on the first page, and it's a really old Bible. I'm just sitting there like, I don't understand this. This is freaking me out. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
freaked my uncle out. Like, my uncle can't even comprehend it. He's like, "Why do you have that on your hand?" And I'm like, because I was kind of guided to get it on my hand. I don't know. But I mean,
Right.
it's being extremely connected. I see Mark saying Ashley. Like, we all have abilities, and like every single person that's being born, like every generation has a different type of gift. That's the only way to explain it.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah, everybody does. Everybody has, everyone, what's going on is this is Encounters, the spiritual UFO TV talk show. I'm CmdrAleon, your host. Ashley Bashley is our guest in Oregon. And we're talking, and if you're just tuning in, welcome to the show here. And everybody, like you said, everybody has experiences and everybody is waking up. Now, there might be out of 240 people, I would say that everybody here has some level of consciousness, meaning that they might be beginning to wake up. They might be really woken up, like they're really there. They might have similar experiences to you where you're really waking up, that you're traveling all over the place in the universe.
yeah.
So it's a beautiful thing. And that's the reason why I created this thing on TikTok, this show, is because there was nothing here. And I had been on Facebook, I have YouTube, and I said, I think, what am I going to do when I get on here last year? I said, I got to do this. I got to do this for people. And so that's why this show has become like really big, because what I do is a talk show on spiritual UFO ET matters and contact areas. And, you know, I keep it right to the line up to the highest frequencies of light on this show. So what you're talking about, just what you commented about, everybody does have abilities, and some of them, and I think people on YouTube, Linda, you can find me on Astro Command Spaceship News. Astro Command Spaceship News. If you missed the last night's show, which I hope, if you didn't get to see it, you'll be blown away by what happened on that show. We did interviews, then we had my friend John Connor on, and then things got crazy with the space people. Yes, so I recommend everybody watch last night's show. And also,
that I'm
yeah,
talking to you. I'm outside, and I told you before I even started talking that it's normally like really cloudy and rainy here. And as I'm
yeah,
talking to you, all of a sudden the sky's like clearing up.
really,
Yeah. Like I
that's
can actually
interesting.
see some stars. I'm kind of like, what is happening right now?
Well, maybe I'm not assuming that because you're on here, the sky's clearing, but I will say I have nothing to do with clearing the skies in
No,
Oregon.
I mean, no, nobody really has that kind of power, but I don't think it's a coincidence that I'm
I know I'm kidding
talking
you
to
there,
you,
but
and it's like, I mean, we live in Oregon. It rains here almost
yeah,
all the time, and it's been
yeah, I
foggy
know.
and cold and really not the nicest weather. And it's
Hmm.
interesting that the sky is like opening up and like I can actually see stars, which is
That's because you came on this show and you opened up to us, and that's why the sky is opening.
that's what I think too.
I think so.
It's kind of cool. Like I literally can be outside and look at the stars all day, but it's very,
Oh, I
very
love looking
cool.
at the stars. I think anyone who doesn't look at the stars is missing some great opportunities. The beauty of the universe. It's something we should all cherish. Really.
Yeah. I also like I really love how even like if you look at Mayan cultures, how their whole entire structure is always looking up at the sky. Like they're like I've studied stuff for such a long time, how the pyramids align with certain stars, and just it's
Mm.
amazing. Like the stars are important.
Oh yeah, I mean, and the star systems, the stars. When you look at this, I think a lot of times we look to the stars without even realizing it, unless you're awakened. We look at the star. Well, we look at the stars for a lot of reasons. One of the reasons, when I always look at the stars, and some other people here, I'm sure they do the same thing. We're looking for what planet we came from. We're looking, not just looking at a star or stars. We're really looking to see where we're from. We're trying to remember when we look up, where are we from? Where am I from?
Yep.
You look at the stars wondering what's out there, because your inner soul wants to reconnect with the universe. So a lot of times we look at the stars because we're trying to reconnect with ourselves, because we're in this human body, but we're really trying to reconnect with ourselves in our true form of where we came from. And I think 95% of everybody out there who's watching this, at least, I think you're doing that too. I think you're looking at the stars so you can reconnect, right? You're trying to reconnect with your soul, with your star family. Whether you call it star family, star beings, light beings, you're trying to reconnect. I think that's a beautiful thing that most of you are doing.
Yeah, and we're
Um,
all we're all supposed to heal each other too. Like one of the things that I've been guided that I'm supposed to relay to people is everybody goes through trauma, and the hardest thing for me to realize is the trauma that I've been through isn't meant to make it so that I'm suffering. It's meant to help other people who have gone through it so that they
mhm.
can learn how to deal with it, because that's just one of the biggest things that I've been taught to do is I'm supposed to be helping people, not living in this poor me, like, because I did it for such a long time, and the more spiritual I
Right.
get, the more awakened I become. Okay, that's why that happened, that's why I'm here. I'm supposed to help people who are going through that same thing so
Hmm.
I can change so that it stops happening to people. Okay, now I get it. Like it's just
Yeah.
I'm 38 and I'll be 40 like in 2 years, and I'm like, some people when they meet me, they're surprised to find how old I am, and I'm just like, they're like, how do you know so much stuff? And I'm like, because I've been spiritual my whole life. I was born in 1985. Like most of my friends that are my age have some type of gift like that. And my son who was born in 2003, he's kind of awakened me a little bit too. Like he
Hmm.
can hear things that I can't hear. And people, there's some people that are like, well, that's called this disorder. I'm like, that's just what people want to label it that are in the medical field. I don't
Yeah,
care what you guys want to call it. Like when there's scientific evidence that backs it up, that can catch things that you can't hear with the human ear, and someone else can hear that, and it's caught with
that's
an
right.
actual scientific thing like EVP phenomenon or whatever people want to call it.
Right,
There's too much evidence to say that it's not an evolution. Like people are growing and changing in ways that
right.
kind of can't
Well,
be
Wendy,
comprehended by
what
some people.
actually, what Wendy's saying, it's a gift, and she's right.
Yeah.
The thing that you have is a cosmic gift. The established doctors on our planet, which are a joke,
Yeah.
they don't understand that. They don't understand that gift because they've been trained to read textbooks in 3D language that doesn't understand the gift that you have that doesn't come from Earth. Those gifts are gifts from the stars. Those are gifts that you've had before coming into human form,
Mm-hmm.
and you're now utilizing those gifts in human form.
Well,
A
my
lot of
gifts are
people are
interesting.
utilizing those gifts.
Like
Yeah.
the upgrade that I got to explain it to you is like, have you ever sat in meditation and had your eyes closed and then all of a sudden you can start seeing with your eyes closed because your third eye is that open?
Yeah.
So when it started happening when I was meditating, I literally had to put my hand over my eyes because I was like, what is happening right now? And then all of a sudden the room changed into this like dome, I don't know how to explain, dome like room that was
A
kind of like a
structure, a
medical room,
dome room. Yeah, like
like a medical
like
room.
a like a dome room, like a dome. Yeah.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, like they're like, you need to put your hands here, and you need to start looking at your body, and like I would see darkness, and all of a sudden, like I saw that DNA helix that was like fiber optics that was really dark, and it started lightening, like somebody was
Hmm.
turning on a light switch, and like certain parts of it was turning on, and I was like, okay, this is interesting, and then started to not have pain in my side anymore, and I was like, this is kind of an interesting meditation because I've never gotten to the point where
Hmm.
I've connected with an energy like that to the point where it was actually helping me heal my body.
Yeah.
And
See, this is why you have the ability. This is the thing. We have the abilities as galactic human beings, and I use the word galactic human beings. What's that mean? It means number one, or human or galactic. Either way you want to reverse it. Galactic means you come from the stars with galactic abilities. When you're born as a baby in human form, you might have a pure memory as a baby, but not speak it in words. As you start growing up as a kid, you might remember a lot of it or all of it, or you might not remember it until you get a little bit older. So, what I would call people here with a knowing of who they are, the terminology would be galactic human beings. So, you can look at yourself, Ashley, as a galactic human being. Why? Because you come from the stars,
yep.
you had a biological human family, and you have all these abilities that are within you. And it's a beautiful thing, and you're utilizing all those abilities. You're traveling to different places out of your dream state, and you're coming back, and more of that. You have a complete memory of everything that's going on.
Yeah, and I've got a huge job that I've got to do, which is it's not hard for me to create
Hmm.
supposed to be painting a lot of these beings that I meet, and sometimes being so open to energy and like protective of it at the same time. I get so many messages sometimes that it's a little overwhelming. Though I'll have, oh, I want you to draw me. I'll have like 20 beings wanting me to draw them at the same time. I'm like, I'm only
Oh wow,
human. I cannot
I'm only
process
human.
this as fast as you. Like, please slow down. And if you want me to draw you, you have to let me be able to process information. Or there's been times where I'll be meditating and I'll have three different types of energies in the room trying to communicate with me, and I'll start to get a
Hmm.
headache because I can't communicate with them fast enough. And I'm like,
So, what
"Ugh."
do you ever tell them, like, can you wait in line and take a seat?
I haven't gotten to that point. I've just told them, okay, I'm still learning how to use my gifts, and I
Right.
can't comprehend this. And then sometimes I feel like they get a little frustrated. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know
Hmm.
how to explain this to you because I don't have to have a technology device to communicate. I just am like
So
that.
here's what my suggestion is on that note. When you get all those beings lining up to communicate with you at once, just they'll be fine with this. Just let them know I can only do one at a time. I'm happy that you're all wanting to have a painting of a portrait of yourselves, but please coming from you, where you come from, you should be patient. There's enough impatient people on planet Earth. Can
Yeah.
you take like a moment? You have to guide them, because they're coming to you. You need to guide those galactic people that want to come to you and say, "I'm overjoyed you're here, but can you please take a seat somewhere, and I will get to you when I can get to you,
Yeah,
and
that's actually a
there's
good
no
advice. Thank
rush."
you. Thank you for that. That's actually good advice because it's a little overwhelming sometimes for me. And
Yeah,
then if I have my own anxiety issues, sometimes I have to take time to meditate to be able to differentiate between my own self anxiety issues and then realizing, okay, there's something that's trying to communicate and I need to take time to figure out what it is instead of
yeah,
letting my
yeah.
own stuff get to me.
Yeah, the space beings will listen to what you say. If you guide them and tell them, "Hey, wait a minute, you're overloading me with too much information. All of you want to come here. I'm one person. I appreciate it. I appreciate each and every one of you, whatever planet you come from. But if you want me to draw a painting of you, I need you to be patient. Sit down, have a galactic treat on the ship or something, and I will get to you. And if you do it that way, I think you're going to have the ability. You have the power, not them. You have the power as a galactic human being to say, "Wait a minute, too much. Slow down. Let's slow down here a minute and give me a chance to get to know each of you, and I can do a portrait of you." And if you do that and take my advice on that, I think I can't wait to see some of the paintings that you portray of these individual beings.
Well, I mean, the painting that I have that's up just as my photo is one that I just jokingly called Venus because
Mm-hmm.
that's the energy that I got from that blue orb being. And like
Mm.
what that photo that my friend, like, she got a couple of photos of this thing that's just, it looks like it's in a ship and then all of a sudden it just manifests into this really tall blue being. And I was like, why do I get the feeling that that energy is seriously like from Venus, like Venus energy 100% blue. Real, like, it wasn't a bad energy, it was just very intense and like making their presence known. And like my friend Brittany doesn't tend to freak out, but she was like, dude, and she just kept sending me photos and photos and photos, and I was like, I want to see the video. And she just
Mm.
sent me screenshots of it because she doesn't know how to send the video, and I was like, I really just want to see the video because the pictures are magnificent. And I
Mm.
drove out there to go to her house, and all I can tell you is like you can sense the energy on her property because it's a very surreal, very quiet, and it's in Cottage Grove. It's in the middle of nowhere basically. Like there's not very much
Mm.
city. It's a small town. So
Small town. Okay.
it's like the perfect area for if you actually want to look and see stuff or have something come and visit you. You're not going to have the noise of all the city and cars and everything, so you can't differentiate whether it's something that is trying to make their presence known or what. But I mean, I have the videos up, and I'll post them again just so that you can see them,
Yeah.
and I'll also send
Yeah.
them to you. I know you have an email,
Yeah, you can
but
send them to my email address for the show. And that goes for anybody who has any spaceship videos, good videos you've been taking around the world recently. Please send me your footage, and it might get posted. It's CmdrAleon at AOL.com. Send me your encounter footage of spaceships around the world that you're having currently. I know many of you do have sightings right now, so I want to see those. Flo, thank you. And I just know that there's a lot going on out there, and I know that things are going to get even incredibly more busy as we go into the end of the year and into the year 2024, a year that is going to be a year of great individual contact. So I say individual contact. I believe that many of you will have your contact. Some of you are already having contacts. I think many of you probably are, out of 225 people here. But I think that there are many who are not, and you're saying, "I wish I could have." I've had people on my show say, "Commander, I haven't had any contact yet." So again, it goes back to meditation. Examples are Ashley, what she's talking about. If you can focus on meditating, those of you who have not had any contact, you need to put a Christed level of protection around your whole frequency of your home, of who you are. Make sure your frequencies are really at the highest levels in your meditation. And if you focus on the stars and look at the stars at night and sit out there and look at them, not on a cold night and freeze, but look at those stars out there in the universe, you can just close your eyes and say, I want to reconnect to my true galactic origin. I want to connect to my true galactic origin. You close your eyes, and you can do that as a mantra, as a meditation. And as you do that, eventually, if you're not having that connection yet, say, gosh, everyone else has something going on. How come I don't see anything? How come nobody's visiting me? Don't feel bad, because you'll get there. It's not supposed to be that everything happens at once. You see, every individual has come to where they are through experience, through living on this planet. Many human beings eventually graduate to remember who they are. And maybe you don't remember everything yet, but that's okay too, right? Maybe you don't,
Yeah,
but you
you've
will.
got a good point too. Like meditating is sometimes it's hard for some people to start meditating if you can't get your brain to be quiet. I was diagnosed with PTSD. There's tools like I think it's called solfeggio. You can listen to solfeggio, and then
Yeah, I never heard
there's
of that.
there's
Yeah.
one video that I was meditating called Pleiadian Reiki. It's just
Mm-hmm.
Pleiadian Reiki. You can Google it
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
And this woman is channeling Pleiadian energy, and it is a very healing video. It's one of the things that helped me connect and be able to heal my body. And I was kind of surprised afterwards because she's very talented. And
Mm-hmm.
Reiki is the biggest thing that's helped me. Like, I didn't used to believe in this stuff, but I've gone to doctors I've had a lot of surgeries and stuff, and I don't believe in
Yeah.
doctors doing surgeries anymore because, in my opinion, I don't feel like they even know what they're doing. I feel like I'm a test subject 90% of the time.
Yeah. I think a lot of people can relate actually to that, going to Earth-based doctors. There might be some that are totally galactically tuned in. I'm sure there are a few around the world, but most doctors read the textbooks that they're taught in the 3D world. So that's what they use to treat people, instead of knowledge of the higher frequencies, which has to do with healing without any medical procedures. It's all based on frequencies of light. So when we talk about frequencies of light, we talk about frequencies of contact. We use frequency to communicate with each other, vibrational frequencies. Frequencies and vibrational healing from a space level, the med beds, Patrick, you're right, the med beds is a way in which one can be healed. Like also, when we talk about the aging process, one of the things I teach people is, and they'll say, "Oh yeah, I know how to do that," and I say, "Really, you do know how to do that?" You know, when we talk about the aging process, I've talked about this for the last 20 years on my radio show, on and off. I talk about it in my workshops when I get together with people. So I tell people, do you know how to control your age on Earth? Do you know how to control the aging process? And the response is, oh, yeah. How do you do that? How do you control the aging process? So when you look at the mind, the human mind that we have living on this planet in human form as humanoids, we have a brain, right? So the brain thinks all the time, tells us what to do and everything else. So you got to get up in the morning. The brain says, get up, have the coffee, tea, whatever, get out there, go to school, go to work, whatever you're going to do, right? That's what the brain does.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't tell the brain to stop. Most people listen to whatever the brain tells them to do. But once you start looking at the brain in human form and say, brain, you do not control me. I control you. Once you start realizing that you control the brain and the brain doesn't control you, what happens? Then you have control of the aging process. Now, people can say, yeah, I believe I can do that. It's not a belief system. To control the aging process on Earth in the human form has nothing to do with the belief system. It has to do with knowing, not a belief. It has to do with knowing. So, for example, many years ago, I finally decided that I don't believe in aging. I don't believe in the concept. Now, if I want to make myself look much older, I can say, okay, body, I want a physical appearance to look much older than I am. If I want to make myself look younger, I can control and reverse it to make my facial expression look younger, right? So I'm saying is, it's not that I don't, let me put it in different terminologies here. Aging does exist on Earth. It does. But you can reverse it or slow the aging process down. How do you do it? By getting control of your brain. Most humans don't control the brain controls them. It's not supposed to be that way. You are supposed to be able to control consciousness. You know, a computer can only operate if it's turned in. A computer can only operate, a PC can only operate if you turn it on. If you don't turn the computer on, the computer's off. If the computer's off, it can't operate. It cannot operate. If the brain is just allowed to do what it does, it controls the consciousness of your whole physical body. But if you tell your brain, wait a minute, I'm going to control you now. I'm going to control the part of the brain that tells me how to get old, that says I'm going to get old, and my face is going to fall apart, my chin's going to come off, my ears are going to pop out. I'm being extreme here, and I'm kind of kidding. But what I'm trying to say, I think you got it. I hope you got it. What I'm saying to you is that the aging process can be reversed. The reason why so many people get old is because they think that's what it's about. You know, you get born, you get old, you work all your life, and you're supposed to retire and get old. That's what people understand on this planet. Billions of human beings. Oh, yeah, I had a good life. I was young once. I'm now going to get old. I'm getting old now. Yep, I got wrinkles on my face. I got my hair falling out and no more teeth, and I'm just going to get old. Yep, I think that's what I'm going to do. But if you are awake and you control your brain, the human brain, you can control aging. How many people know that? How many people know that you can control? I don't know why I'm talking about this now, but you can control aging. Hey, Divine Light, take care. Blessings to you.
I think a lot of people spend a lot of money trying to fix everything about age too. So I think what you're saying is actually true, just because I'm one of those people who believes, you know, if you believe you're going to do something, you can do it. Like I stopped smoking. I didn't have to take anything to stop smoking. I just believed I was going to stop. I didn't have withdrawals where everyone else around me that smokes is like, how'd you do that? And I'm like, because I told myself I was going to be fine and I was fine. And like, that's all it took. So
Yeah,
I
that's all it took.
understand what you're
So,
saying.
yeah, so I'm saying, I guess right now, I guess the message I'm getting from my higher ups is to say this. You never know what I'm going to say sometimes, right? Hey, Kelly, thank you. That, you know, I don't believe, oh, I've never seen that before. Thank you very much. I don't believe in aging. You know, when people say, oh, you're getting old, you're having a birthday, you're going to, you know, how do you feel to be another year older? I don't even know what age I am. I don't even know how old I am. Actually, I think I do, but I don't think about it. You know, if you think about each year that you're going to age, you're going to age. If you don't think about aging, then it doesn't exist. So most times, you know, I'm kind of smiling here. If, you know, I don't even know what age I am anymore. That's because I'm not thinking about it. I don't even think about age. I don't even know what age I am.
I
It doesn't
honestly
even matter to me. I have no idea.
sometimes. So I actually have a painting of the planet that I was on that actually painted that I forgot to tell you when I will never forget because I know that it was like I'm talking to you. It was that surreal. When I was standing in this being's body, I looked up and instead of the moon being in the sky, it was a planet that looked like Jupiter or Saturn because it had rings
Yeah.
around it. And I just remember looking and I was like, where am I? Like, why is
Where am
there a
I?
planet in the sky instead of the moon? And it was bizarre. like
Yeah.
when you have that level of travel when you're dreaming and like you're remembering things or whatever it is that it's called. I was like, okay, I'd like to wake up now, and I couldn't wake up. It was like I was living on that planet and I couldn't wake up, but I had my human consciousness still. So it was interesting, but I did paint it so that people could actually see what it was because
Oh, beautiful.
it was a
Beautiful.
really beautiful planet. It had a lot of reds and greens and it was pretty. And then another weird synchronicity is at that time I was working at the Children's Museum where I live in Oregon, and they had this
Mm.
NASA space children's museum thing, and they had this video playing where these astronauts were like going around on all these planets, and one of them was standing on a planet looking at another planet on this looking at another planet like what happened on that dream.
Right.
And I was watching
Right.
this movie that was on the screen and I was like, this is weird. Like it felt like it was like a projection in a way, and I just couldn't comprehend it. I was like, okay, this is my reality. I'm not dreaming right now. This is like I'm in my human body right now, and I had to walk out of that place for a second and catch my breath outside because it's bizarre when you start traveling, not in a bad way. It's just it's a big spiritual growth thing, and it's taken me
Yeah,
a long time to even be able to talk about it because I was like, what is happening right now? So
right. That's right.
I can't wait.
No, but you
I'll
know,
make a video of that too, and I'll share the TikTok. I'll share I'll share the photos again on TikTok, and I'll post the video of the painting
oh,
that I built
absolutely.
because it's pretty
I,
fantastic. My husband and I just got home, and it was like a 3 hour drive, and we're kind of tired.
well, you got to
It,
get some
well,
rest. You got to get some
it's
rest. You've
only
been,
9:30 where I live right now, but it's still it's
but
a
still,
lot.
you had a 3 hour drive. You got to be, tired.
Yeah,
I'm not
my husband
suggesting
and
you're
I
tired,
both.
but you probably are.
Yeah, I'm lucky that he drove part of the way, but I even drew in the corner of the painting the
Mm-hmm.
how this facility was just kind of like it was there, but it was hidden in plain sight. Like it was there,
Mm,
but nobody
yeah,
really knew what it was because they were just living on the planet like it was normal to just be at one
right.
with nature and everything. And then all of a sudden I show up and there's this hidden technology building all covered in like trees and shrines and stuff. So I had to draw it because paint it because it was too
Yeah.
surreal for me not to, and I figured like it'd be a good thing to actually share it to show people because all I can tell you is that there was a lot of water and a lot of trees and it looked a lot like Oregon trees, whereas there's a lot of pine trees and stuff, but
Mm,
it was really pretty, but I've never experienced anything like it when you're standing looking like imagine if you're camping and you look up and you think that you're going to see
yeah.
the sun but it's a planet instead or if you think you're
Yeah.
going to see the moon and it's a planet instead.
It's a
That's what it
planet. Yeah.
was.
Beautiful. I can't wait to see some of your stuff when you're. Everybody follow Ashley. She's been a great guest. Everybody follow her. You've been
Thanks.
I know you just got home. I hope you rest well. For sure, Jackie. Thanks for the hand heart. And matter of fact, I will use the hand heart. I'm pinning the hand heart. So I'm going to do hand hearts tonight for gifts. And well, you can gift me anything you want, but we'll do hand hearts tonight for the commander. Hey, Ashley, take care. Thank you
Yep.
so much. Oh man, I'm getting thirsty with the lemonade.
Well, make sure
Um,
you guys subscribe to him too cuz this is an amazing channel. Like I've worked at a lot of events and stuff and I have a feeling that your channel is going to take off a lot, like a lot more than it
oh,
already
thank you.
is. Like you're an amazing host and you talk about things that are real that a lot of people don't.
Oh, thank you.
It's nice to actually hear somebody talk about things that are happening right now because it's just interesting when you actually have somebody willing to actually be a commander and actually raise awareness and get people to start being okay with, the experiences that they're having, especially when there's been so much coming out about communication and just everything that's been happening, even in the news. It's kind of like
Yeah,
how's everybody gonna keep staying quiet and not talking about this? Like, you guys
right.
can't keep everybody quiet anymore. Like, this is really happening, and these, like, the biggest thing is that we have to make sure to be aware of our surroundings and like not always be on phones and stuff. That's one of the biggest things I've noticed when I go out. Is like there's been some weird stuff that's happening and it seems like a lot of people are oblivious to what's
They
going
are.
on
People,
around them.
that's exactly right. Billions of human beings on the planet are oblivious to what's going on. Sharon Lee, thank you for that. Um, it's what you just said. And I just like this woman who was commenting about the 2 minute piece I had on Godico. You have to check that out. Ashley, go to my main page. When you're awake in the morning or something tomorrow. 2 minutes of our show from last night. It'll blow you away. Our space contact Godico, who has contacted me through an application here, which starts with the letter A over a month ago. I have a long-term relationship with this civilization from the star constellation Sirius. Now, I'm from Mars. That's where I come from. But he also had a relationship with me on Mars before I came to Earth. John Connors is good. I messaged him. He's doing okay. I didn't get to, verbally talk to him, but I'll give him a call tomorrow. So, yeah, John Connors and I were on, and he is like the transmitter. He's like the antenna on the receiver. And we had our friend Gadico speak English, and it was the most beautiful. So just some really crazy things happened last night. I think anybody who watches the whole show, I started with normal interviews like I'm doing with Ashley. Then I had John come on. I asked him if he wanted to do this, and we did it together. And we had some wild experiences with Gadico coming in really strong through radio frequency. He spoke English and came in really strong last night. And we didn't plan on having a contact show last night. It wasn't planned out, but my body was feeling chills. Other people in the room were feeling chills, and he came in. So right now, as I'm sitting here, if I even mention his name, this is the thing that is so wild. If I mention Gadico's name, he hears me. He's not on here with us right now. He can hear me telepathically or verbally, hear me talking and saying Gadico. If I say Gadico, 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 he can hear everything I'm saying right now, without question. I've come to the conclusion of understanding that. I didn't understand that before a month ago, but I understand it now. I do.
Happen if John Connor got on with me on here and to see if I could like try to figure out how to translate what he's actually saying to you. I know that you can understand him telepathically in some ways too, because
no, he's speaking verbally through he's speaking verbally through radio, an AM radio frequency.
Oh,
This is
I've
directly
seen
through
it.
an AM. Oh, you've
Amazing.
seen it, right?
Like
Yeah.
yeah, like it's amazing what he's able to do and the fact that he's able to do it, because I've never seen anything like it, and I've been an investigator with a lot of like what people would be considered paranormal groups, and I don't really like to do that kind of stuff anymore because it's just a weird frequency, but it's a whole another level of, you know, otherworldly energy when you're able to connect the way that John Connor does. Like whatever he's doing is extremely intelligent. Like,
oh yeah, when
I
he
don't
and
know
I
how he
decided
does
to
it.
do this, when we decided to do this specific thing, it took it to another level, because I thought that the being was over where he was, that they were there, but the space being is 7 feet tall, and a few times people say, "Oh, Commander, he is behind you. He's behind you." They would say, "Oh, Commander, he's standing behind you." Now I didn't see him, but he was behind me a number of times during my broadcasts. And I thought it was coming from John Connor's room or his house. But no, the funny thing is he communicates through a transmitter on an AM radio station. Thank you, Kit Kat. And he can be right here, but he's talking through an AM station frequency. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to try to work it out so that he can physically come on my camera. I don't know how that's going to work. I'm really not sure yet. I'm still trying to meditate and figure that out. I want to get him to speak and be here in the room with me from coming off the ship and physically show himself on my broadcast. Now, I don't know if that's going to be through the TV set I have here. I can use the TV set. He can come through the TV and I can turn the camera on facing the TV to have him come through. I'm still trying to figure this all out. I'm still learning things here. I am so engulfed in trying to figure things out right now in terms of how to make the contact even better.
You know how white noise works? Like, you know, like the radio frequencies, how you're getting the AM. So you remember like back, like I grew up in the 80s. You remember when you didn't have cable connected to a TV and you would have a white screen because nothing was connected to it? Why don't you see if you can get your TV to do that and see if he'll show up in some way, if he can like make the frequencies turn into something through the white screen.
I'm gonna talk to him because when he's Friday night, we're going to do another. I have to talk to John, but Friday night will be another contact show with Gadico, and I'm going to ask him to come through my TV set. I have a big enough screen here. I'm going to see if he can come, if I turn it on, if he can come through the set to show himself on the spaceship. Now that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out how to visually have him on the screen of my TV set so people can see him. For some reason, I feel there's a way of doing it. I haven't figured it out yet, but I'm going to figure this out. My mind is pretty adept to different consciousness levels, and I will figure this out. I'm going to figure this out, actually.
I have
Once I figure it out, I will let everybody know.
You've got John Connor, who's doing all this stuff. You've got me, who, once I start meditating a little bit more and using your advice of telling them, okay, I can only comprehend one person at a time, and I'll do some meditation tonight to get some clarity.
Yeah, do that.
I'm going to ask them to help me with clarifying things so I can help maybe communicate and like help you understand what is being said, which is going to be a huge thing for me to push myself to do, but I know that I can, because I wouldn't be having all these dreams.
Well, thank you, Chris.
I wouldn't be having all these weird communication dreams and experiences.
Well, last night,
Wendy,
Ashley, last night, Godico was doing a messaging thing, which was, what did he say?
You have it on your YouTube channel or anything?
Oh, yeah, that's right. No, it's you can watch the whole YouTube channel, Astro Command Spaceship News.
Okay.
Watch the whole show.
I will.
And I only took a 2-minute segment of him speaking, but he spoke a few different times when John Connors and I were together. He spoke a few different times. You'll hear it. You'll watch the thing where John goes outside of the house where he is in Arizona. All the power went out of all the homes in that area. You see that there are lights on poles that are still on. Only a selected area was knocked out of power.
Too. That's amazing, because that's that's a very highly connected state. Like that,
yes.
That state is a very good state to live in if you're really into UFOs and stuff like that.
Yeah, matter of fact, I'm gonna bring Maria on. Maria, I want to bring you on because you're really tuned into what was going on. I'm going to bring Maria on and have her come on. Maria, if you come on, I just invited you to come on the show because you were on last night when that whole thing happened the whole time.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch that, Commander, because I think that I'm being pushed to kind of listen and see what was going on so that I can get my intuition to kick in and figure out what's being said and try to help figure it out, because I've just had too much experience that I can't really put into words. That I've explained it to you, but I mean, like, there's obviously, I feel like I'm kind of like this person that's the medium for UFOs. I don't know how else to explain that other than that.
Well, not so much. The UFOs are just a ship. You're a telepathic communicator with various space people from star systems. So look at yourself as telepathic. You're receiving telepathic messages. You're not a channeler, but you are a telepathic communicator. As not only an artist, but your artistry allows you to bring in galactic artistry of these different beings and portray them. So make sure that when they want you to paint them, that they all just take a deep breath and just take a seat, imaginary seat, wherever they're sitting, and just do one at a time and say, well, I can't do you this week. I'll do you Friday.
Well,
you take control.
They're never really pushy. It's just, it seems like because I'm able to be that communicative, telepathic person, that it's like when somebody's standing in line and they're getting impatient. So it's a good, I really appreciate the advice to tell them, okay, one person at a time, and then get a piece of paper and like pen and just start writing and trying to figure it out, because it's something that I've been having to push myself to do, but I know that I can do it, and that way
absolutely,
I'll figure it out, because
you will.
I've also been very clear with any type of energy that sometimes, like, I have to be very specific, especially if I'm woke up in the middle of the night. I'm like, no, do not wake me up at 2-3 o'clock in the morning. Not okay. Like you can communicate with me when I'm sleeping and in the dream world, but please do not wake me up, because that makes me mad.
Right.
And it just messes with my energy for the rest of the day. So, I mean, it is what it is, but I cannot wait to visit Arizona. That would be a fun place to go. That's one of my bucket list places to go.
Yeah.
There's just
absolutely. I think a lot of stuff. I think you're a beautiful soul, and I think your story. I've never been to Arizona. I want to go. That's one of the places I need to go to is Arizona. I want to go to Joshua Tree, California. I'm supposed to go there. I've been getting, since the last year, I'm supposed to go there. I'm supposed to have contact in the desert of Joshua Tree, out in the desert there.
What is a
I was
Joshua
supposed to
tree? What is that? I don't know what that is yet. I might.
Joshua Tree, California. It's near Giant Rock. Giant Rock is where the original contactees of the 50s and 60s got together. There was a little airport in Giant Rock that doesn't exist anymore.
Oh
And
wow.
George Van Tassel, everyone should study this. George Van Tassel, read his books. They're out of print. He was the original, one of the original contactees, and him and his wife had a little airport with a cafe where a thing called Giant Rock, and all the people would land their little planes in the desert over there, and people would come with their little cars, and all the contactees would meet there, and that's where they would talk about their contact stories going on ships with the Venusians and other space beings from other planetary worlds. It's a great history. I know a lot about the history. So for those of you who are, in terms of younger decades that are not from those decades of the 50s or 60s when those things were happening, I was just a kid, but I know a lot about that history. So the Joshua Tree is where a lot of it happened. There's also the Integron. I don't mention the name. There is a dome that is used for healing and workshops, and it was guided to be built by George Van Tassel, which he did. It was supposed to be a place where people would go, not just for rejuvenation, but if it was fully activated, they would be able to be transported into space from that specific location. Yeah, so I know a lot about Joshua Tree, and that's
Awesome.
a place you
You
have to check it out. It's a lot
I
of
will.
positive energy there.
I also want to ask you if you've ever heard of the vortex that's in Oregon that's supposed to have like apparently things roll uphill and they act really weird, like the gravity's off on that place. Like I've always gotten a weird
Hmm.
vibe from that. Just hearing about it, like that's got to be like some type of vortex, like portal
And
or
where is
something.
that? Where is that located?
It's called the vortex in Oregon. Like, hold on, I'm gonna ask
Oregon.
my husband if I can use his phone to look it up to tell you because
Okay.
I've always gotten like a weird. Can I use your phone really quick? Energetic vibe from it
Mm-hmm.
because I've never understood how we have gravity everywhere else on Earth, and there's not a like there's a few places on Earth that have weird energies, like
Yeah.
the gravity's off. But I mean, if the gravity's
Yeah.
off somewhere, it's gotta be for a reason. Like I don't know how else to
Hmm.
explain that. Let me look
Mm-hmm.
it up really quick because I figured I'd
Okay.
bring it up since you just taught me something and everybody else here.
Oh, thank you. I
It's a
appreciate that.
This place is always I haven't ever visited there and I live in this place. I live in Oregon where it's
Mm-hmm.
at.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, the
Oregon
Oregon
has a lot of
vortex.
spaceship sightings too. Oregon.
Yeah,
It's a
it's just
very,
that's it.
very much a
So
spaceship area.
it's in Jackson County, Oregon, and it's called the
Mm-hmm.
Oregon Vortex.
Hmm.
Like everything like the it says that it's temporarily closed right now, but it says it's a unique phenomenon open to the public since 1930 and that it's a strange world. Something about the gravity, like the gravity is weird. Like balls, instead of rolling downhill, they'll roll uphill.
Interesting.
I'm like,
Interesting.
that's weird. Like,
Mm.
I've never heard of anything like it. My sister visited it a long time ago, and ever since I've been like, I really want to go to this place. And it's the nearest city is called Gold Hill, Oregon, and
Gold Seal. Okay.
it's pretty. It's considered forbidden land
Hmm.
for travelers.
Interesting. They call it Forbidden Land. Why do they
Yeah.
call it Forbidden Land?
I don't know. It just
Thank you,
says
Kit Kat.
travelers passing through would often find their horses refusing to go to the area. Like horses don't want to go to the area.
Interesting. I wonder what the energy level feels like there if you were to go onto that property. What the vibrational frequency is.
It's got to be weird because the gravity doesn't even work correctly. Like it's like
Hmm.
the vibe that I get is like the Bermuda Triangle, only it's the Bermuda Triangle of Oregon.
Really? So basically, the forbidden area. Who says you shouldn't go there? The state of Oregon or
It
the
just
government?
so when you look it up and you go to Wikipedia, it says legend supposedly states that prior to any construction, Native Americans in the area refer to the site as a forbidden land, and travelers passing through would often find their horses refusing to go there. Like
It's probably a doorway, a galactic doorway to another frequency.
that's why I brought it up because I'm like, it's just too weird to have the gravity be all weird and that nobody
Let's
understands
see here.
why. I'm like, it's probably
Yeah.
because there's
Hmm.
something going on.
Yeah. Speaking of something going on, I'm looking to see where's my cat. She's sleeping on the couch, and I hear like I swear I hear like something, like there's something happening here.
You probably are
Uh,
hearing something.
no, I got my earbuds on, but I'm to the. I was turning this way. I said, "What's over here? What's over here?" I don't see anything, but I felt like I heard something just now. I swear, as I'm sitting here talking to you.
Hmm.
I know it's raining out. It's raining out.
Yeah, and it's not raining where I live, which is weird because
Okay.
it's never raining.
It was like a ding ding. Someone says. No, I swear, I'm
Yeah,
having
I heard that.
galactic stuff happen here. It is raining outside. Just to let you know, it is raining
Tell you,
over New England.
the Oregon Vortex was featured in a 1999 episode of The X-Files. That's all I'm reading on my
And I'm going to bring John up too. John Connors is here. We're going to stay on here till about 1:15, I think. I got on here a little bit after 11. So I'm going to bring John Connors up here with us. We have Ashley here. And I actually was sleeping earlier tonight. It was really, last night was incredible, you know. So I don't get drained from what we do, what John and I do, because we have a reason for doing it. There's a bigger reason than the both of us, actually. You know, so I'm going to bring John on here, and I want people to watch our show from last night because it was an incredible show. Things got really crazy, but there's a lot of good information you can learn from the show if you look at the actual points of contact. Like I said, John is a brilliant human being. He's not just a human being, he's in human form, but obviously very connected with the Tesla. And beyond Tesla, being the antenna, being the receiver, when we're together, we just, with this specific topic, we end up facilitating the triangular communications. And I know that Godico wants me to get an AM radio. So this week I'm searching for the right AM radio with a antenna that I can physically move in any direction. It has to be with an antenna. So I will figure out what that is. I mean, I used to have a ham radio years ago and all that stuff. So I know a lot about radio frequency, but we will definitely do that. I'm really excited that people are starting to understand that what John and I have been doing is something that no one currently in the current history has done. George Hunt Williamson in the 1950s, 40s, 50s, they used tube radios and they were communicating in clear audio with people from outer space on ham radio frequencies. This is true. So what we're doing is no different, but now we're doing something that George Hunt Williamson did with ham radio on AM frequency with people from another planet on a spaceship. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. So let me bring John on here, and he's he's 2 hours. I think Arizona is 2 hours earlier than we are here. So it's 12:10, 12:11, 10 something. We'll see if he's. I think he's here.
So when he comes in, have you ever used the I gotta look at what this is called. There's an app that my husband and I downloaded that's supposed to help with like communicating called CE5 Contact. Have you ever heard of that?
Oh yeah, we do see. We have a C5 group here in Connecticut and New England, Ashtar Command C5, and we use Dr. Greer's techniques and we use
Yep.
our own protocol of
That's
contact. Yeah.
actually what I use is that app that I paid for it and it's like the best app that I've ever used. Whenever I
Oh, it
want to
is. It really
experience
is.
anything, it's pretty amazing.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful application.
And always
I
meditate
think, yeah.
before I use it too. And then I always have, whether it be like physical seeing or whatever, it's usually more of the times it's like having weird dreams afterwards. Sometimes I'll see UFOs, but it
Yeah.
depends. Because I live in Oregon, it's cloudy a lot.
Hmm. I'm trying to get Maria to come up here. Maria, can you come up on the screen here? We have, hey, John, near there. There you go. I just noticed you on the screen. Hey, brother, how you doing?
Did you hear this earlier?
No, I heard like something on the right side of me. Like I can't explain it. Like I sensed something was there. I sensed something. It was just like it caught my attention, and then I said, "Oh, something's here." I'm very sensitive to stuff like that.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really aware. I'm so sensitive to things. I like.
I want to
I just like
for
yeah,
all profanity that I was using yesterday, so I apologize.
no problem. It's just they told me tell your brother John to just use different languaging. I said okay, I can do that, and he'll hear it. No, I appreciate that because we have so much. They want us to be good stewards because we're now representing the space people. They want us to they want us to be the best people we can. So hey, we're human beings, and these things happen. We get excited, things are happening, but energies. I mean, we're so amped up last night. That was crazy.
Yeah.
What's happening with the power where you are? Did that power go back on?
So what was happening was the reason why there's certain chemtrails that they do, right? So the chemtrails that
Mm-hmm.
they do over here, it blocks the UV. It also acts as a radar dome. So if anybody's projecting trying to read over here, because there's military bases over here, it puts up a radar dome, and so that blocks out other you know spies that are trying to survey the land,
Yeah, you mean people that were trying to interfere?
right? And so the ship of I have some information for you. I just came from a meeting right now, actually.
Oh, okay.
The kind of meeting where you have to turn your phone in a basket.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay. What was
Those
that? Ashley, how you doing?
good. How are you?
Good. And how's everybody else? Everybody's good?
Good.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I
The
forgot to
whole.
tell you that my husband used to work for the Air Force, so
Oh, I didn't know that either.
I figured I would let you know. So whenever he
Well,
sees
see, there
something
you
weird,
go.
it's legit.
Yeah. No, I believe you. My dad was in the Air Force back in the 40s.
While you're getting stuff ready, I'll never forget. I was driving past Roswell on one of those buses when you're gonna go to like the dam, and a family member that was in the military freaked out.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't even talk to me when I asked him if anything like aliens was real. He wouldn't even talk to me. He was freaked out.
Because he probably had information and he freaked out because he
Oh,
knows this is an
oh yeah.
area.
Oh yeah, he was like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you whether they're real or not. Like he was terrified just to talk.
How old was he? Do you know, Ashley?
He's probably in his 60s now.
Oh, okay. And he
But
probably
I
had to
mean,
sign something that said he couldn't speak about anything, but that's
I've
crazy.
yeah, I've heard stuff my husband has told me that they're very specific. Like that's pretty
Yeah.
much all I can say because I don't want to put anybody in a situation. But it's just bizarre to see somebody act
Yeah.
that terrified just going by Area 51. Like I've never seen him scared ever.
You said Area 51 or Roswell?
Um, what is it that you
I thought
go
you said
from Las Vegas to the dam? Like you have to go by it.
Oh, well, there's they call it the extraterrestrial highway, which is
Yeah.
in Nevada, which is not far from Area 51.
That's what it was. It was Area 51. But I mean,
Okay. All right. Just
it was weird. That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah.
It was one of the
That's
weirdest
that's fine.
experiences in my life.
Nope. That's fine.
So that's one of the hottest That's one of the hottest intros and extros. Area 51 is the actual sign. It says area, and then the exit 51. So you get off on the exit 51, and if you go down
Yeah.
the exit, if you know which one to hit, it'll open up. It'll make it where you're able to go through underneath, and then it depends on you what side you drive on and what side you're looking on is where you're
Mm.
going to go to. What do you call that? Your destination is chosen by your facial. Uh,
Mm.
Depending on which where you're looking and how you're looking. The only way I can say this is it's a man. Depending on
It's
your
like
reaction.
it's almost
Yeah,
like
go ahead.
it's almost like a portal, like a invisible portal. You have to figure out where it is.
Because if you've ever been driving and I know you've done this, Commander, is that you drive it and you're going for a while, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Damn, I was driving this entire time."
Yeah, bilocation is what happens to me. That you will not. Thank God, not anymore. Like about 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it happened for a while. I was being bilocated. I was on the interstate here in Connecticut, and all of a sudden I was somewhere else. And then I was getting, like when it started happening, I started getting kind of nervous
Oh,
because I said, "How am I going to drive the car? Where's the car?" And then I go back in the car, and the space people had the car in complete control, and they came back into the car by location.
right.
I mean, that's the way I would explain it.
I can tell you that the energy just not even driving, being on the bus shifted, like just being on that road. It like being as highly intuitive as I am and connected before I really knew what was going on because I was in my 20s when I went and did all this. It like the energy was intense. Not in a bad,
Mm,
just like you could feel there's a lot of suppression. The only way to explain it, a lot of suppression and secrets and like
mm,
it was just weird energy all around.
hmm. Yeah, I can relate to that. When you buy location, that's the weirdest thing when that happens because you have no control of it. I had no control. I mean, when it would happen, when I was taken a few times, I couldn't figure out how to get back to this dimension. I was like, am I stuck here? Or how am I going to get back? I had to really focus my consciousness to tune back into getting back into the car. And I remember every one of those experiences. It was the weirdest thing. After I finally it stopped happening, um, I said, I don't want to ever be bilocated again. I just like I had no control. I didn't understand why it was happening. It just started happening. The space beings protected me always, but I didn't know what they were trying to teach me by bilocating me out to another place. I think what they were trying to teach me is that once I understand it, I can bilocate anywhere I want physically. And I think that's what they're trying to teach me. But at the time, the way they did it, they didn't like pre-communicate to me telepathically, "Oh, Commander, we want to do this. Are you okay with it?" they apologized
The
for the way they did
commander
it, but it
too.
was yeah.
I think it's because maybe you were getting information like memories being given to you or something along those lines where it was kind of like being implemented that you're supposed to be changing the planet like you're already doing because you're the commander and you're teaching everybody. And maybe that's why what happened to you happened is because they were trying to teach you, oh, this is what you're meant to do, and you're just now maybe remembering.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, through my own experiences, having not necessarily being like abducted, but being given memories that are not, they're not my memories. It's like something else is explaining stuff to me in a sense that I haven't really been able to understand until the more I
Yeah.
meditate on it.
Oh yeah, I'm much more adapt to now. I mean, 15 years later, whatever, I completely get it. But at the time I was like, oh no, I don't want to do this ever again. I would bilocate again. Now that I know what it is, I can understand how to utilize bilocation on a level where I can bilocate somewhere if I really wanted to. I don't feel like I need to, but if the time comes to do something like that, I could certainly do it. But now I know that I can do it. I don't really feel I need to do it you know. And John, you were mentioning that you had something for me that you wanted to share. Um,
Yeah, I'm trying to get my cameras to work.
oh, you're trying to get the camera to work. Well, that's really weird. Did your cameras get kind of fried from last night? I see you
Some,
right there. There, your cameras. Your camera's on. I see it.
something did something to it.
Yeah, it might have been all that energy from outer space. Oh, there you go. There's it's working. You're using lighting, color lighting. Yep.
I'm not using coloring lighting.
Well, what's all that color coming through? You don't see it?
Uh-uh.
It's like a
Oh, okay.
portal. Really
Okay.
looks like it's being
This is
opened right
getting
now.
kind of strange. Yeah, there was a big opening of color that just
No, the
came through.
only I got this is red
Yeah.
and green.
Yeah, that's what you were doing. You were using the lighting, red and green lighting. That's what I was talking about. That was the lighting you
No,
had there.
it's in my hand. I just picked it up right now.
Oh, then what was the lighting before?
This is all I can do right here.
Okay, that's you
It,
doing it.
it doesn't change to green until I click the button. Now it's green.
Yeah, now it's green.
Yeah.
So before, when I was seeing those colors, you weren't touching anything?
No, I'm actually on the tablet. I was trying to get that download. I was downloading that ticket.
Okay. So the lighting I see now, that's not you?
There's no light. I don't see anything.
Are you kidding
Let
me?
me change it.
Yeah, that was like rainbows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the back one is all fried too. Yeah.
Huh. You know, I have a feeling I have a feeling that okay, so is the lighting I see now coming from you?
Now I see something. It's red, blue, green, red, blue, green, red, blue, green.
Yeah, where's that coming from?
Maybe my things are because my camera hasn't worked all day.
Okay.
I think it's something to do with overheating.
Overheating, okay. So maybe the camera's doing that.
Maybe I should.
But how could the camera do that?
I don't. That's what I don't know. Unless it's fried to the point where
It could be lens issues. Wendy says it could be lens issues.
I don't see anything on there.
No? Well, if we deduct all the things it can be, then the only thing it could be is our space brothers. Or the camera is, it could be lens issues.
That's me. Weird.
That's you right there. I know that's you.
Cameras are cheap.
Your
They are.
like face morphing face. If you can tell, it's kind of weird. Like behind your face, like I don't know what
I'm
is
going to be
going.
right back.
That's weird.
Hmm. Well,
I'm sorry that your phone's got heating issues. That sucks. I've had that happen. I don't know why, but it's happening a lot. I had to get a new phone for it. So
hey Chesno, we have a breach in here. If you can take that person and have them removed, it's a energy breach.
I've learned not even to pay attention to anybody that tries to input any negative anything. I just don't even give them any energy. It's not even worth it. Like I'm just it's not even worth it.
I mean, you can try that if you really want to bring her up. Just to let you know, I warned you.
So what I honestly am not even paying it. I'm trying not to be rude. I'm reading some of the comments because I want to at least say hi to some of the people. But that was an
Yeah.
interesting portal thing that just came up on your phone camera, even though your camera's not really working like it should be. That was interesting.
What did you
Yeah.
see?
I mean, at first I saw
It
the
looked like a
colors.
rainbow.
Yeah.
I'm a
But
static person now.
you're a static person now. You know,
Yeah,
it's interesting.
Clouds that are
that's what they look like.
whenever I can't see anything and I want to see the stars, like it's like something's trying to block you from letting everybody see you. It's kind of weird.
But you know what? John, are you open to Friday night being another major contact event?
Friday night. Today is Sunday. Yeah, absolutely. What's the
That's
date
what
on?
I don't know what the date is. I'm gonna post something on TikTok probably this week. I'll post it tomorrow or
You think I'm
Tuesday.
dirty? Scott, you think I'm dirty, Mr. Scott Hammonds? My phone is the most cleanest thing there is.
You're
I'm just,
seeing the ET. You're seeing the ET John that is on the spaceship. This is a shadow of him on the ship coming through.
yeah, because
Just to let you know, it's the 22nd.
The 22nd.
I might be at my sister's and I have a date with my little honey dog, my little Emma
Okay.
bear. But
So
if I
the
come on the show,
22nd.
can I bring her?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
absolutely, man. You know that. I
Okay.
wanted to ask you. Godica
Yes, sir.
wants me to get an AM radio. What kind of AM radio should I get?
Oh, that's actually one of the things I got for you too. Hold on one second.
Yeah, he wants me to get an AM radio, and I'll hook it up here next to my live. He was saying, I can't believe I'm saying this. Simultaneously, your radio and my radio, AM radio, will amplify his ability to speak. I don't understand that, but that's what he said.
What if
Actually, that's what
to
Kadar Manka. Well, Kadar Manka told me, Commander, you know, I know that Godico wants me to get this AM radio, and yeah, I've been getting that since last night. I've been get an AM radio. You need to get an AM radio. Huh. Something about the simultaneous. Let me understand this. Something about the frequency amplification of the frequency. It's going to amplify the frequency. Does anybody understand that? All I know is that's what I'm getting, the amplification of frequency. So somehow they're going to use 2 AM frequencies from one part of the country to the other, and it's going to amplify them through the antenna systems to amplify their sound. Does that make sense?
Yeah, my tablet's not working right now. It's weird. Here we go. Steve Hoffman says, the best AFM radio. What is going on here, bro? Come on. What a whack-ass tablet this is.
We have somebody with the name NASA Spy. That's a good name. We have somebody in the room just came on here called NASA. I love that name, NASA Spy. Welcome. Are you really a spy for NASA?
Well, actually, NASA is actually meaning NAZI. That's what it actually represents. Oh, okay, that's what. That's good that you brought up that. So, the very beginning, when it all happened, it started from the front door of the Arctic shelf, which would be Antarctica. That's where they all came in through. That's the portal, exit and to enter. But it must be under a loop, a golden loop, which is through the crystal ice wall that is sky blue, and the sky blue rhythm of the echoes of the sound of the static that is rubbing against the water from the ice back and forth of the ice shelves. No, I did not write that down.
No, that's interesting. So what I think that they're saying, folks, is that area was a big galactic opening for the space people to come through. What people call the ice wall, so to speak. I've seen people with documentaries and videos. Go ahead, John.
I was trying to show you the picture, but it obviously doesn't want to show anything.
Yeah, it's really weird, man. Your picture thing is not allowing you to. Your camera is. I think something happened to your camera last night.
Or is it this? They know how to block the certain spectrum of my camera because I was doing all those with the Northern Sky project projector. Yeah, maybe that's why.
Yeah, it could be. I think anything's possible. Yeah, that's definitely. Someone's saying, I don't know. Julie says, John, you got tape on over your cameraman. Laugh.
Tape?
Julie, our friend Julie says, No, I don't think there's any tape over the camera. She's joking around. She's saying, yeah, she's just making a joke. Julie's a good person. Says, you got tape over your cameraman, and laugh.
Shit. Where's my tape? I'll put it over there. Maybe I'll reverse it. But what I was gonna do is I was gonna put a mirror up against it to see what happens.
Yeah. Well, that's really weird, man. I think what happened last night after you lost power,
Yeah.
it affected every electronic device in your home. I really do believe that happened.
I've heard of that happen, and I'm really intelligent with technology, so I'm sure there really is something going on because you're too smart. Just watching some of your stuff, like.
Well, you know what it was? Last night, Guidico said EMP, which I actually edited last night's show, and I put the segment where he was saying EMP. He was talking electromagnetic pulse, and the electromagnetic pulse affected the electricity, which caused. And when John went outside last night, everybody lost electricity except in the distance. You saw light poles where people had light. It's a very directed hit on that area where you were. Everybody lost their power. And I think it affected all your electronic devices.
Yeah, because, well, I haven't really noticed anything else. Strange.
I mean, you're able to actually, you know what's really weird? It says that your camera's not on.
It is on.
I'm looking, it's on, but the TikTok says, oh, now it's on. Now your camera's on, but TikTok showed that it wasn't on before.
Oh yeah, I was trying to see if maybe I clicked it, but it's not clicked on.
No, you're on. You know, you're definitely physically here, and your screen is physically looking like it's like a light color. It's like we can know that you're there moving things around, but we can't see you. See that when you do that with the colors, that we can see.
That I don't see no colors.
Are you doing anything with colors right now?
No, I'm in the app setting, messing with the camera settings.
Oh, you're messing with camera settings. Maybe that's.
What?
Well, that's your phone really weird.
Dropped?
I did drop it like 4 times today, but.
Okay, because I used to work for a phone company. Maybe something happened when it got dropped, and it's just. I don't know.
Maybe I should drop it again. Reverse it.
Maybe
you might have to. You might have to get another phone and have everything transferred onto another phone. If that doesn't fix itself, I think something happened to the phone. I think it happened. I'm getting it happened when you got hit with the electrical knockout last night. I'm not sure. You know, Godico was talking about the solar storm that we had. I was looking at the space. I was looking at the space weather. I was looking, John, at the space weather.
Yeah.
Ashley and John. I was looking at the space weather patterns today at a friend's crystal shop, and I downloaded the app. I didn't know there was this app. I downloaded it. Certain parts of the Earth got hit very hard with electromagnetic pulses of energy from the sun. It knocked out transmitters, radio frequencies, and everything. Not everywhere, but in certain parts of the Earth, they were knocked out.
Really?
Yeah. That's what Godico was trying to warn us of, that there was going to be a solar hit.
Oh shit! Okay, that's
what it was. It was a solar hit.
That's amazing.
Yep. Yeah. After I got off, I went into mode of meditation. And this morning when we were at our friend's, another friend who has a crystal store, she's very tuned in, this app, looked at it and she said, where'd you get that from? So let me look at that. She showed the charts. I downloaded the app, and we got hit with a solar hit from the sun. Major hit that hit the planet just today.
So sweet.
Yeah. Yep. Very interesting.
Right? Did you feel any different today?
Did I do what today?
Feel any different?
Yeah, I felt really different today. I was tired from last night because we exhausted so much energy. I was also very excited that Godico has now learned that he was speaking. When he first started, I couldn't understand a word he said, but he was speaking clearly in English. and I can understand everything he said. I felt really good about that. I was like, I finally can hear every word he says, and I will be able to hear every word he says from now on. So I was very excited.
Huma huma nuka nuka apua.
But you know what? It's 1:15 a.m. in the morning, so I'm going to try to discipline myself. I'm in New England here. Everybody else might be out west, and it's earlier. So we'll be on tomorrow night at 11 with our broadcast. Friday night is a special night of contact with Gatico. I'm going to get an AM radio this week, so I need to know what AM radio to get.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to show you right now. Okay. Because I'm downloading something, but it's still not coming through. Let me see if this. Oh, see, this was the 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's the only one I have. I think I recorded like 2 things.
Yeah. Oh, you have to watch the show then on YouTube. The whole show, you'll see and hear everything that happened that night.
Oh, I'm not allowed to use YouTube. They kicked me off of YouTube.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, I've been kicked off there for a long time.
No problem. Well, you can see the 2-minute thing on my main page. I actually clipped it where he says, what Ashley?
Too. I wanted to know if you wanted to do something on the solstice because I've had a lot of interesting experiences on like those types of dates, contact wise.
Yeah, let me give that some thought. There's so much happening now. 23rd.
Yeah.
Let me think that out. There's a lot of family stuff happening too.
Sorry. I didn't. It's the 21st. My husband's telling me I was reading the wrong thing. 21st of December. It's Thursday.
Yep, that's Thursday. It's 22nd is Friday.
Friday's the 20. So Friday we're going to have a major event of contact. We should be on around 11 p.m. I'll be making a video of it. So be ready. We're going to, be ready for it. And what I'm going to do is once I get that radio that I'm supposed to get, and you can even message me, John, message me what it is. I'll go into Walmart or wherever it is. I'll get the radio and I'll go to the same frequency you're on with Gatico. Okay. And I'm pretty sure whatever frequency that is, it'll amplify the communications. That's all I'm getting.
Well, I'm sorry I can't use my camera. What I was going to do is I'm going to back out. I'm going to just reset my phone, like reset the app and just see, and then see. I'll come back on real quick and see. Okay. I wanted to show you. Okay, let me do that.
Let you do that. I won't go off until you do that, and then we'll do that. You're watching Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO space contact show. I'm CmdrAleon, your host. Yeah. We are going to plan a C5 shortly. Okay, so skip to Grace. We're going to plan a C5 shortly. I'm going to bring I'm bringing Grace up for just a few minutes here. I'm going to bring Jane. Hey, Grace, how you doing?
Hey, good. How you doing, guys? Hi, everyone in the room. How's it going?
I'm trying to get disciplined to go off of here before 1:30, so I can go to sleep.
I know you're getting close. You only got a couple minutes left.
Yeah, I don't want to get to 1:30. I want to actually do it in a few. But I'm waiting for John to get back on here because he's had some visual problems with the phone.
John looks like he's been getting himself into trouble. We got
actually, I don't know where he is. He'll be back.
He's into all types of things.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. But, thank you.
We're doing a direct contact event Friday night with Gatico. Everybody pass on the word.
Good night. Yeah,
everybody pass on the word.
So I really would love to. Well, I know we talked about this last night with Chesno. I really, really want to, guys, come by your place, pick you up, and then Chesno can meet us, and we'll hop out in my truck and do a CE5, and can do it live on the on the platform.
Okay.
You have to just let me know what night's good.
I'll talk
And
to my other half of my life, who you know, and my daughter, who you've met,
yep.
and we'll figure that out.
Yeah, and I have a nice big truck, so it will be nice and cozy and warm, and it'll be fun. We'll find a nice
Okay.
remote place.
Like I won't have to like lay on the top of the truck if I get tired or
No,
something.
you
I'm
won't.
just kidding, everybody. I'm not going to do that. Um,
In the summertime you can, but
in the
no.
summertime, I am all there.
In the summertime, springtime, it's that'd be perfect.
Yeah,
But no, I think we should do it because I think the energies are,
yeah.
I keep getting the download that we need to go out.
Thanks, Scott. Yeah, Scott's saying I'm a Nintendo commander. Yes, thank you for
Hi,
that. I
Julie.
and Julie wants to come. Julie, you can come when we have the event.
I'll show you my
Then join
Christmas
us.
tree, guys. This is my Christmas
Everyone's
tree.
invited to come to Connecticut when we do this. So if you want to come, we'll advancedly let you know like what weekend it's going to be, and then just come out here and join us, man. And there's hotels around here. You can come out here, hang out with the commander and everybody, Grace, Chesno, and all our group. Just come on out. You know
Yeah, and
how to
we're
do
That
it.
the
sounds like a
yeah, go ahead, Ashley. Go ahead.
I just think that sounds like a lot of fun. It
Yeah.
sounds like a
Yeah, it
planned
is.
event.
Yeah,
It is. We're gonna plan it.
we do CE5 regularly during the we're up in the Northeast, so we get cold
Yeah,
weather, during this time.
we got to
But
get James to come out here too. James is here.
yeah,
James, you got to come up to Connecticut when we do this, man. We'll set it up so you can take a jet out here and hang out with us for that weekend. You know.
Have you
yes,
been together
definitely.
in a group setting yet? Because I've done stuff like that, and you would be surprised the amount of energy and like things that happen when you get a group of like-minded people together.
Yeah,
Stuff happens, especially
we'll
when you
have
all
Yeah,
you.
believe in
We'll
something.
have James
yeah.
come up here when it's springtime, when it's warmer.
We've had great success with the
Yeah,
CE5s. I mean, we follow the CE5 protocol. I'm not sure if Ashley, if you have investigated the CE5 app, you could
I
download
think
it
she
on your
talked about
device.
it.
Yeah, it's a really great protocol if you're interested in like honing in
Mm,
on your communication because it sounds like I was listening to you earlier. It sounds like you have a lot going on and you're
mm.
wide open. So, just it'd be a great way to kind of like close the gap a little bit and concentrate and focus on, just peaceful contact.
Yeah,
That's what we try to do here,
yeah, yeah,
I know that's Commander's central focus at this point.
yeah. Very much so. Well, I mean, now it really is. Ever since contact with Gotico happened, what else can I do but want to focus on everyone learning about contact? It's like the most important thing beyond having your own families that you live with biologically and loving your sons, your daughters, your mothers, your fathers. This is like now become a real mission of mine now since I've had contact and he knows who I am. And he talked about the history of our relationship off planet. I feel like it's so important now that we have a great deal of respect for each other. I'm not the first one to have visual contact with anybody. There are people that have been guests on my show that have had beings come in their house. So it's not that I've had the only one having contact, but in this particular realm of contact, it's very different than other contacts because he's communicating with me from his ship, and that is something that's very different. I'm still, as Grace knows, and any of my close friends know here, I'm still learning a new thing here that I've never had this kind of communications before. So it's very different, and I am very humble in the communications. It's a direct response. So that kind of when you have a direct response, it's not channeled. It's not someone saying, "My name is Doey Doe. I'm from the planet Dodo, and I want you to know that everything's going to be beautiful. And I can tell you that next week, if you so desire, you will have a great day. Energy will be good. It will be very sweet energy coming from the universe. Just think of the sweet energy coming from the universe. My name is Dodo from the planet Dodo, and I guarantee you to have a beautiful experience. Now, you know I'm kidding around. So you know what I'm saying. I think we're going to see if John reset his thing now that we got from the planet Dodo to reality here.
Yeah, don't take us to the planet Dodo, John. We're not interested in that.
Hey, John, did you get to reset your camera? Oh, there it is. You reset it. You did it, man.
Oh,
You're
what's this
good.
business? What do we got going on here?
It
We
sounds
got a
it's clear, but my other camera, the face one, it doesn't work either.
well,
So
this camera's working good. So there you go.
yeah,
So we're going to be doing a live event. We want people to know about it. It will be Friday night at 11 p.m. I'll be making the video sometime tomorrow in the morning, and then I'll be posting on here, and I'll post it on YouTube.
let me get this
Uh,
thing to show you here. There we go.
and we're
What are
giving
you up to
Godico
tonight, John?
we're giving Godico a rest here tonight because we all need to take a break for a few days.
Yeah, it's good. That's great.
Oh, look at that.
Planet Dodo. What are you working on, John? Tell us.
That looks beautiful, man.
It's a lens from the Tree of Life. I'm trying to get it to be better.
Okay,
That's
awesome. I love that.
okay. You like it? Okay, let me see. Let me give you a full version. Ready?
I love that. I've studied the Tree of Life quite a bit.
I just don't want it to blink, but it blinks for some reason.
Yeah. Well, on your end of things, anything's possible that can happen.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yes. It's the truth. I can only tell the cosmic truth, brother.
I know you.
You're welcome, Julie. You're welcome.
My thing was, what was that?
Oh, Friends of Fairy wants me to sing a song before we go to sleep.
Do it.
I will definitely, if people want me to sing a galactic song before I go to sleep, I will do it.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Hey, welcome in everybody in the room. We got a lot of people
Yeah.
here tonight, Commander.
Oh, yeah.
Got like 200, almost 235 people in the room. Hey,
Yeah.
welcome everybody.
It's pretty consistent. People are finding us now, and that's what I was told by Kadar Manka. He says, Commander, the people on TikTok are going to find your show. And they are.
Oh, that's really cool. So welcome in if you're new, everyone.
Yeah, welcome everybody.
We love having you.
Yeah, that's for sure. I don't want to let them down by having
Oh,
no.
you're never letting me down, man. Don't ever feel that way.
All right,
You know,
cool.
whatever you're trying to find, you'll find it.
No,
Well, I
it's
will definitely I'll sing a song really low. I don't want to wake anybody up here. I will sing a song. Does everybody want to hear a galactic song from outer space?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me close my eyes here. I have no idea what I'm going to be singing.
Yeah, guys, don't forget to support Commander's page.
Well, I just heard the shift. I heard the shift right there.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that too.
As we travel through space to a place, an amazing space, as we travel to your earth, giving birth, as we travel in our ship, and we flip in the trip, and we flip in the trip, as we travel to your earth, giving birth, the frequencies of light, the frequencies of light are bright for you to see. Do you understand what we are telling you? Do you understand in this song transmitted to you? The people of Earth, you're giving galactic birth, galactic birth. That's the song.
That reminds me of like the process of how light and frequency like mashes together, and it comes out to be what it is. That's what I
That
felt from.
was great. Thank you so much for that. That was awesome,
I had
Commander.
no idea what I was going to sing. I think they were
That
the
was
song.
so great.
They gave me the song off planet. They were just giving me the song, and I sang whatever the words were. It's a message.
This is what Encounters is all about, Commander. This is like what I love about this show. Oh, look
Thank
at
you.
that. It's beautiful.
It was such a beautiful song.
Oh, thank you.
And I agree.
You
Starshine
just
says you should write the lyrics down. It I agree. It's almost like it's like the Galactic Fair, like songbook or Galactic Fairy Tales or something. I just feel it's such a great opportunity to kind of like even expand, uh, contact stories, and let people know about this more and more children and things who have these experiences.
Mm.
It's
Yeah, it was.
beautiful.
I just felt guided. I didn't know what. I don't know what I'm going to sing when I sing these songs. I have absolutely no idea. You know. Hey, James, welcome.
Hello.
Hey,
The
hey,
song
hey.
made me
Oh
come
wow, what is
out of
that?
the rabbit
Hey,
hole. Out
sir. How
of
are
What was
the
that thing?
you?
rabbit
Snow?
hole.
Welcome.
Had to come and
You
join
got
in
the
the
humidity
singing.
here.
Join in the songs of the love and the light.
I know,
Yes.
it's so beautiful, right? It's like
Commander, I
kumbaya.
had to come out of the hole. When I heard the singing, I was like, oh, it's Commander's song time, and
Where
it's
is that
with
coming from?
you.
That's a beautiful gift. Where
It's
is
like
that?
kumbaya, space beings,
Oh,
kumbaya.
Julie, thank you for the snowfall. I trying to figure that out. I've never seen that before. You
We all
know.
need a duet. Yeah, we do.
I have one
Good
more
to see
song
you
to
in
do.
the room,
Evidently,
James.
I have one more
Hey,
song to do. You want to hear one more song from me?
let's hear it.
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm guided with another song. I know I got to go to sleep here. It's 1:32, but I'll sing one more song. Let me do this. We are coming to Earth. We have traveled very far.
Very far,
You've been waiting for a long time,
long
but you don't
time,
have to wait anymore.
no
We are
more
Yeah.
coming to Earth,
to
and
Earth.
we've come from very far.
Very
You've
far,
been waiting all your life,
very
but you don't
life,
have to wait anymore.
no
When we come
more.
to your planet and land our ship, we'll walk right out and you will flip. You'll see us bright as a star in the night because we are here to embrace you tonight. We are coming in a ship far, far away. You've been waiting so many decades, you don't know what to say. But we are coming here to show you ourselves. The star people are here to show you ourselves. We are here to be with you for all the things you do. Our love for you has not ended. The love we have is unended. The love we have vibrates in your bodies of truth. For us to meet you, to reinvest, to embrace you.
Embrace
We
you,
love you and
love
embrace
you,
you and
embrace
love
you,
you all the
baby.
time. As we speak to you in this song, you are feeling it through your bodies now. We are singing this song to you from afar, but we are here, not in a bar. We're coming to you right now, and it's as real as you can see. When we walk off the ship, you will see us, embrace us, and one will be. We love you.
Yeah. Fabulous. Yes, that was so good, Commander. Oh my God.
And here's your long distance dedication from CmdrAleon to you.
That's
It's the song
beautiful.
from Planet Doopy Doop.
Was that like a meteorite? Was that like a
Doopy-doop.
meteor shower that
That's
someone
cute.
just sent?
That's a snow. That's snow.
Oh, that was gorgeous. Oh my God, what a pretty
I
gift.
prefer that snow to the real snow in New England. That snow I can live with.
Yeah, it was really bad tonight. We were driving home
Thank you,
from
Serenity.
we were driving for a couple hours tonight. It was wicked bad on the road tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, we were in New Milford earlier tonight. I got to go to sleep. I really
You're
do. It's
busy day
1:35 in the
today.
morning.
All right, everybody.
That beautiful song.
I want to
too,
thank
so-
everybody. John, do you want to come back in and mention about the radio thing, AM radio?
I think John fell asleep. John, did you fall asleep?
No, he's here.
Good. Oh,
John doesn't sleep.
Did
John,
John
was my
get like
my galactic song putting you to sleep?
No, it put me in a place of a timeline of where there was 500 pounds of weight lifting up as these three men were trying to do it in a quick coordination where they were all singing in tune, and they were trying to make a device that would contact another side of their space so they could come in as one, finally entering the trapezium of light through the one's eye. You will see.
Interesting. Well, we'll leave it at that. And message me about the radio thing because I want to know what to do on that part. Oh, you did? Okay. So, John, let's send my love out to John, part of our intergalactic encounters show. Down the rabbit hole, James, thanks for being there, my brother. Skip to Grace. Grace, thanks for being here.
Welcome.
Ashley, thanks for sharing your stories. And do follow some of the things I told you about the painting of those space being, the star people. Just like tell them, I can do one at a time. You can't just all come at me at once. It's just too much,
I appreciate it a lot. That's really good advice.
Oh, sorry.
Good night,
Okay.
everyone.
What were you saying, John?
I just wanted to ask down the rabbit hole, how was the party?
It was great.
James, you there?
It's good.
Party was good. I'm in a little pain. I hurt my ear really bad on the flight, but
Oh, that's not good.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
yeah, man, party was good.
Did you have tamales too or no?
No, no tamales, but I did eat.
Dang.
Did your ear get better? Are you feeling
Yeah,
better?
did you get better?
Yeah, my ear's starting to feel better.
Oh, good.
All right.
All right.
That's tough.
We'll leave it at that for now. Remember, Friday night is a special event. Tell everybody on the planet about it. And we will have another direct contact between James and I, John and I, as the antennas with Gatico. So my brain is kind of fading out here. So everyone, thanks for watching Encounters. Everybody have a great week.
Good night, everyone.
And we love you all, and we will see you all.
Good night, Commander. Thank you.
You're most welcome, everybody. Take care.
Everybody.
Thanks.
Here we go.